injury lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs fell in Houston to the Rockets last night, 111-106. Houston outscored San Antonio 29-14 in the fourth quarter. Julian Champagnie led the Spurs with 27 points, but nobody else had over 12 points in the loss. Spurs back in action tomorrow in Utah. Miami Dolphins have requested permission to speak with Cowboys assistant special teams coach Carlos Polk for their special teams coordinator opening.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. Whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. Appreciate you stopping by here and joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix.
And I hope you're warm while you're doing it or preparing for the Arctic blast.
Yes, sir.
That apparently is on the way. I'm glad they fixed the air conditioner just in time to turn the heater on.
Well, they fixed it, though. That's the good news.
Well, did they?
Well, I think they did.
I mean, they took the fans away and closed the door.
Uh-huh.
It was cold in here earlier, but I don't know. It's nice, but it's kind of one of those things. I'm a little concerned about this weather. I just saw photos of Ted Cruz leaving the state.
Huh.
We got generators now, right?
Well, I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's consistent. So that's good. Yeah, I saw that picture today that's floating around that he's on his way to California, Florida, one of the two. I'm not sure where, but hey, that's what Ted does when the weather gets cold.
Just find it funny as hell.
Dude, all politicians are funny as hell.
Well, all of them.
I don't care. Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't make any difference.
And again, it could be one of those things that have been planned for a long time, but timing. You know, like I'll be out of town this weekend. You know, during the Snowmageddon, I got trapped in Florida.
Yeah.
I was stuck. I couldn't get back.
That sucks for you, doesn't it?
I was on a beach. And,
wow.
You know, Hollywood Beach. Then it was like, hey, we got to stop posting, man, because it's bad in San Antonio. You know, talking to Pledge, like, Pledge, there's heat and water at my house. If you can get there, I can't get there. Pledge was like 4 days without a heater.
Oh,
just dying, but he couldn't get to my house.
Well, I got lucky, and I didn't know Pledge at that point in time, and he could have come to my house. I didn't lose anything.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, I was in good shape during that whole thing. My whole family was coming over, taking showers and cooking food and all that kind of good stuff. But, it's funny that you say that because I talked to Tim Morrow today.
Yeah.
He runs the San Antonio Zoo. And, boy, when that thing hit, they had all kinds of issues. And he was telling me about it today, and he said, this time around, he said, we are prepared. Ain't nothing going to happen to any of the animals at the San Antonio Zoo.
And they do such a great job there at the zoo, and Tim is such a good dude. But, yeah, I mean, I do feel like we're a little bit more prepared, but also are the weather people just offering up the most extreme possibilities? Will it really be this bad? We're going to find out. Bill Taylor is going to join us coming up at 3:35.
Who?
Joe Reinagel.
Yeah, Bill Taylor. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Bill Taylor. See what he has to say about the weekend weather.
And that's what I really want. Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine today. His kid's got a soccer tournament this weekend.
Oh, well, he's screwed.
That ain't going to happen.
Dude, you bundle up, stay in the house, and enjoy.
Well,
go get your alcohol right now, and you've got it there.
Or, let the kids go play soccer, right? I mean, why not? Or cancel. Hey,
it's wintertime. I mean, this is like, the couple of days of winter that we get here in San Antonio. I don't mind it getting cold. It can get rainy. It can even snow a little bit. I just don't want anything near what we had in 2020.
No, well, nobody does. Although, I was like, dude, I'm going to Vegas. You want to go? Soccer gets canceled, man.
Yes.
Come on.
Why not?
Book a flight. Let's go.
It's going to be interesting this weekend for sure. But
and if I can't get back on Sunday and I'm stuck in Vegas, that might not be great for the wallet or the liver, but I'm sure I could find a place to stay.
Everybody's getting all bent out of shape, and I'm looking forward to talking to Bill Taylor coming up here at about 3:15 today. Yeah, Joe Taylor.
Yes.
Bill Reinagel.
Uh-huh.
One of the two, but I'm looking forward to talking to him because he can give us a little indication on the timing. On my weather app, it says Sunday's going to be cold, but it's going to be sunny. So Saturday's the worst day here in San Antonio, according to my weather app. Now,
I trust Bill's.
I'm going to trust Bill's
weather
forecast better.
I actually watched weather last night.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
I tuned into Bill Taylor.
Uh-huh.
He's the one I trust. And the way it made it sound like not early in the morning on Saturday, kind of midday is when it really will start to get nasty, which is cool because my flight Saturday morning's like at 10-something. And then it will be nasty overnight Saturday, and then late Sunday afternoon kind of warm back up. And I'm like, well, this is going to be perfect because I'm, get back about 9, 10 o'clock on Sunday night. I'm expecting delays because, when there's bad weather, it's going to be there. And, that's the great thing about the Southwest app. You know what your delays are, so you can stay at the casino a little bit longer.
Exactly right. Hey, we'll deal with it and move on. It'll be just fine. And Sunday, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm watching football all day, so all that matters.
As long as the power doesn't go out.
It won't go out of my house.
Games are on. Do you have a generator just in case?
No, I don't, but I don't live far from a fire station and a police station.
Yep.
So I've been told that
you got that good grid.
I've got the good grid.
You're on the good grid.
It won't go out.
Yeah,
so.
Same with me, apparently. I'm on the good grid because during Snowmageddon, we never lost power, never lost water, none of it. My house was full. At the time, I had dogs still, and Pledge was supposed to watch them. And,
the poor dog. At least it was warm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Way to go, Pledge. Jeez. Pledge. You just can't depend on him, can you?
I mean, not then. He couldn't get out. Neighbor Hal took over the duties, and, his kids ate all the snacks in the house, which was fine. It didn't matter to me. Just, as long as the dogs were taken care of. And I just kept telling Pledge, dude, if you can get there. I told that to a couple people that I knew were stranded. If you can get to my house, man, I'll give you the code and turn the alarm off.
Yeah.
Just go be safe. People couldn't get there.
Couldn't get there. That was the problem.
Yeah.
I was doing reports because I couldn't get into the TV station at that time. And so I was doing reports, sending them in on my phone.
Yeah.
But I'd walk around the neighborhood, and I could see 1604 from where I was, and that there was no – and so I was doing stuff like that. That's how I was contributing to the newscast at that point in time because we weren't doing sports.
But they made you contribute anyway?
Yes, they did. They sure did.
Man, those SOBs.
I was pretty proud of myself, I got to tell you, because, I got the obligatory shot of sticking the ruler in the snow, and it was like, I don't know, 6 inches. So it was kind of cool so I could show that shot. And dude, you guys have dirty minds. That's all I got to say.
Everybody lies about 6 inches.
You guys have dirty minds. I'm telling you. That's it. I'm talking about the snow, Minix. What are you talking about?
Snow? The obligatory shot.
The obligatory shot of the 6 inches of snow.
Of snow. Of snow. And, we'll find out from Bill Taylor coming up here at 3:30. Who's the young reporter that gets stuck having to drive out to Kerrville to tell us that, yep, it's icy out here.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just and they got to go to Kerrville because that's where it'll start snowing first.
Yep.
So they'll have somebody camped out there for sure. There's no question about that. So
I know why Reinagel's in a good mood, and it's not because of his obligatory shot of 6 inches. Yes. This Jeannie Buss article, this Lakers turmoil article at ESPN.com. Jeannie grumbled about LeBron James's, quote, outsized ego. The control that he and Clutch Sports had. Didn't like how LeBron was considered a savior to the franchise. The lack of accountability over the Westbrook trade. Privately musing about not giving him a contract extension and even trading him. Not grateful that the Lakers drafted Bronny.
Bronny has earned it.
Well, of course not. Nobody was grateful for that, but nobody had the
LeBron
stones.
should have been.
Nobody had the stones
should have been.
to tell LeBron no. And that's the problem. They didn't have the balls to do that. And Jeannie Buss should have done it. She probably would have been the only one. But look, I don't. That doesn't make me happy, Minix. I don't give a damn. Jeannie Buss and her family just got $10 billion for the Lakers. So
look,
I don't even know why she's concerned about it.
Well, that family's got a lot of issues anyway. But there's somebody else out there that agrees with you about his outsized ego.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people. Some of them are just afraid to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for you to retire,
The
LeBron.
fact that she gave him a contract extension fearing a bad PR hit.
Exactly.
That's so weak.
Well, that is weak.
That's so weak.
I mean, how many teams did that dude play for in his career? 5?
Yeah.
There have been 5 now. Cleveland twice. Miami. Now the Lakers. There's one I'm missing. Who? Is that it? Okay.
He's not Shaq. Shaq has played for a lot of teams. Started in Cleveland, went to Miami.
I'm taking my talents to Miami.
It's at South Beach.
South Beach, same thing.
Wow.
Unplug it, maybe.
What?
Why does that make me laugh every time? Every single time that makes me laugh. I love it. I love it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Well, the Lakers have their own problems, and then they got to figure out their own issues. The Spurs, on the other hand, have their problems, and they're going to have to figure out their issues. Watching that game last night, I don't think I've ever seen an NBA basketball team go as cold as the Spurs did in the fourth quarter. I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, sometimes the shots just bounce in the right way.
Last couple of games, they've done that.
But they did that. So what's going on with them? Is there an issue? Is it coaching? Is the players? Combination of both. Let's talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
It's Pork Rind Appreciation Day at PorkRinds.com. Hall of Famer Devin Hester and PorkRinds.com are lining up to be the heroes for the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund. Pork rinds are the MVP of the snack aisle. Low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Visit PorkRinds.com to enter for a chance to win a 2027 Big Game Travel Package and a year's supply of rinds. Support a great cause and find your favorite rinds at PorkRinds.com. Pork Rind Appreciation Day, the crunchiest day in football.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit JoeGomezLaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 321321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 321321. That's METER to 321321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you, gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio Spurs blow a 16-point lead last night in Houston. The Rockets take that 111-106 in Houston last night, and it was just a horrible second half, to be honest. And instead of second half, I should say fourth quarter. It was absolutely awful.
Fourth quarter was disgusting. And quite honestly, as often as this is happening, this is on Mitch Johnson. These collapses, these blown leads are on the coaching. I know that this is a young basketball team that has to learn how to win. But when you're consistently seeing double-digit leads go away, I'm looking at the coach. What are you doing to help and teach your young players? What are you doing, Mitch Johnson? Take a timeout to stop the bleeding. Run some high-percentage plays. Do something to change the flow when it's starting to spiral. What pisses me off to no end is when you're watching that lead get smaller and smaller and smaller, and they're running down to the other end and jacking up a three with 19 seconds on the shot clock. What are you doing? Right? Run something. Run clock. I mean, get inside of 6, 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds on the shot clock and shorten the game. Jacking up a three just to try to, I mean, to me, that it starts right now with coaching. That's one area. Yeah, players have to make shots, and when they're cold, they're cold. So call something, run plays that are a little bit more high percentage, and good Lord, take time off the shot clock to shorten the game.
Spurs took 50 three-point shots last night. 50 three-point shots. Made 14 of them. That's got to stop. And I know this is the league, and I think this, to me, and I know I'm get off my lawn guy, but I'm sick of all these three-pointers. It seems like that's all teams do now is put up threes. There's no sets. There's no plays called. There's none of that kind of stuff. And especially when you're not hitting them. My gosh, I mean, to start that fourth quarter to start it. They were clanging stuff off the rim left and right, and nobody was even close. And then Reed Shepherd just took that game over in the fourth quarter for the Rockets. He was sensational in that fourth quarter for them. But he was able to get out and run and do what he does and get to the basket because of the missed three-point shots.
And what's frustrating as a fan is also frustrating for dudes in the locker room, specifically one French guy that wears jersey number 1. And he's seeing the same thing I am, except for he can do something about it. And hell, he was part of the guilty ones in rushing threes, which he says is part of the problem.
There's many details, but I think the main idea and that all of us can see, because it's obvious that we're rushing, in our minds on the court, sometimes overreacting. So yeah, I think it funny. The good thing is that nothing makes you learn and makes you mature like failure, or losses, defeats. So we're learning quicker. We're taking it a lot while still being a winning team now. So it's we're gonna figure it out. We need to mature a little bit, I think.
It's interesting because just yesterday, Jason, we were talking about Wemby and him taking more three-point shots.
Yep.
And I thought it was a good thing. You keep him out of trouble. He's got a good shot, but last night he couldn't hit the ocean. 0 for 7 from three-point land. And I don't know what the idea is. Maybe a good mixture of it. When you got a guy that's 7'6", that is so much taller than everybody else on the floor, don't you have to run some plays inside for that guy?
Well, you do. And again, feel of the game has to come in, which is where I'm coming back to coaching. Now, Houston's defense on him, pretty good. Wemby was asked, what was Houston doing to you, man?
They did what they usually do, and what most teams do, actually. Obviously, I wish I made more shots tonight. But I need to be able to find ways to help my team even when I don't make shots. So it's on me.
Well, yeah, and you need to, sure, but I think the coach can stop the flow of the game, stop the game, and say, hey, instead of that, let's run this, and let's do something. The other thing I noticed about Mitch Johnson, look, it's just his personality, and this is not necessarily a rag on him, but most coaches, basketball coaches, no matter what level they're in, are nuts. They're insane,
yep.
Right? They go crazy. They lose their minds. Mitch Johnson never – I don't see a smile. I don't see a growl. I don't see anything on that guy. He is just steady no matter what's going on.
And that pisses you off?
It does.
I mean, you want to see him blowing a gasket?
Yes.
Going Serbian?
I want some nasty.
You want all of that?
Yes.
Instead, you just get an even-keel explanation about what went wrong in the fourth.
Yeah, a lot of things went in the fourth quarter. I mean, obviously, Houston did a heck of a job the whole second half of guarding us. Ramped up their physicality, ramped up their level of aggression, and we had a rough whole half. The fourth quarter was obviously less than the third, but a variety of things. We missed some open shots. We weren't strong in creating leads, catches, passes, mental stuff in terms of sharpness on play execution. It was a variety of things all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a variety of things. It started going downhill pretty quickly there in that fourth quarter. But I'm watching that game going, dude, have these guys ever shot before in their lives? I mean, they weren't even close to making shots.
It's just one game to the next. But especially as of late, whether they won games or not, they've had big leads that have evaporated. Some they've been able to hang on and win. You think about those games with Minnesota. Wemby couldn't have sounded more frustrated and going, yeah, same old.
Same as usual, blowing 15-plus point lead. The good thing is, we're all onto the problem. We're all putting our minds into it, but we're conscious it is a problem.
It is. Good. I'm glad you know. That's a problem. What did you do to build that lead? And why can't you maintain that? And that's where I do say players have to learn how to win, have that killer instinct. I know last night on Twitter, and it's common, I have a hard time personally calling a pro athlete soft. But they build up a big lead and it evaporates. Why? And they do lack that killer instinct. I don't think this is a soft group. Personally, I have a hard time with that. But man, you look at the Twitter
when
feed.
have they showed you they're physical?
Well, I mean,
never
physical, unphysical. Just being soft is one thing. But getting pushed around when other teams are ramping it up, how do they match that intensity level?
Well, that's a good question, and I just look at that thing, and I watched Reed Shepherd last night in the fourth quarter. That kid had no fear. He was getting in the paint. He was making layups, circus shots that were just incredible, and the Spurs had nobody like that. Where was Steph Castle last night driving to the bucket? He wasn't. He was standing outside the three-point line. Dylan Harper did it a couple of times, but, I mean, obviously not enough. I mean, who's that guy that's going to take over the ball game for the Spurs when they have to stop the bleeding? Reed Shepherd did that for the Rockets last night and led them back almost single-handedly. Now, there were some other guys, but Shepherd was the star of that fourth quarter. And I don't see anybody like that. And I look on Twitter, Jason, and from Nico Diaz, so the Spurs are missing Vassell. And I guess I can deal with that, but how many times have Spurs fans said Vassell sucks?
Well,
we need to get him the hell out of here. Since when now, all of a sudden, is he the big missing piece to the puzzle, just because he's been out a while?
Well, I mean, he's been out and they've been blowing big leads.
Well, they were doing that when he was in.
I don't know that they're missing Vassell. They're missing shots on a night in which Kevin Durant scores 18 points. On a night when Kevin Durant only takes 4 3-pointers. He did have 7 assists. But on a night where you contain Kevin Durant, you should win. And they didn't get it. They didn't get it done. Just all of it last night as a Spur fan should piss you off. But I am curious, because you bring it up. It's such a great question, Joe Reinagel. Who is that guy that when you need a shot, you can rely on that guy to knock down the three? Who is that Steven Jackson guy who wants the ball in that moment? Remember when Jack said, pressure? Dude, I make love to pressure. Who is that guy on this team?
Well, right now it would have to be Julian Champagnie.
Well, it depends on the night.
Well, it does. But what I'm talking about, Jason, is somebody that's going to take the basketball and shove it right up the opposition's behind, like Reed Shepherd was doing last night. That's what I'm talking about. Not taking threes, driving to the basket and putting the ball in the hole.
I mean,
Reed Shepherd did that last night.
And that's it. I mean, Steph Castle had that incredible dunk, that windmill dunk.
I think Wemby had an incredible dunk last night too, if I recall.
But he was 5 of 19, 2 of 8 from 3. And it is today's NBA. Keep jacking up threes. Threes are better than twos. But at some point, Mitch, call a play for a 2. Do something. Use up the shot clock. Shorten the game. When you have that kind of a lead and you're seeing it, when it was 16 down to 8, aren't you doing something to get the tourniquet out? Stop the bleeding, for goodness sake. And they don't do it. Would they have 6 straight possessions where they fired up a 3 and missed?
Yeah. It seemed like a lot more than that.
It might have been 56. I don't know. I mean, the game was delayed because the Rockets tried to cheat with that bent rim thing. I kid. It was kind of weird, though, that they had to delay the start of that game. It was comical watching them put the little deal up there to see if it was balanced or not. Nope. And really?
Well, what was comical about it is it took them so damn long to do that. I mean, I've seen guys change out a rim in like 20 minutes. It's like, bam, get it done. These guys had a difficult time for whatever reason.
Looked like me and you trying to change.
Well, exactly. They wouldn't have played last night if you and me were trying to do that. That's for sure.
Go to Home Depot and take all night trying to figure out what parts we need.
Well, exactly, dude. Here's why there are some Spurs fans that say the Spurs are soft, and if that's the right word, maybe it is, maybe it's not. They rely way too damn much on the three-point basket. They just do. And look, when you get hot and you're hitting them, that's great, but that's just not going to happen. In a game like last night where you blow a 16-point lead on the road to a Houston Rockets team that you need to beat. They're right behind you in the playoffs. They're not too far behind you. And I at some point in time, I'm with you. You got to run the clock. You got to run the clock. You got to take some time off of that clock and make it more difficult for them to catch you. And when you're jacking up threes and the fast break, you're missing, and the fast break goes on the other side, that lead disappears in a hurry, just like last night's did.
Yeah. The old motto, live by the three, die by the three. That's what it boils down to.
I just wish they would not – I just wish the whole NBA, and it's not just the Spurs, the whole NBA is a three-point league now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nobody runs plays anymore. Nobody gets physical anymore. It's just it's a three-point shooting contest for most games.
Mm-hmm.
There are exceptions, obviously, but I just think at some point in time you've got to adjust. And if the threes aren't going, you got to do something else. I mean, that's just common sense, is it not?
I mean, you would think, again, run some high-percentage plays. Do something. And again, you just see Mitch just over there, and maybe that's part of it, his demeanor. And people are who they are. Part of me, I like the calmness, but at some point, I don't want to see him panicked. But I would like to see him chew somebody out. Like Harrison Barnes has been so bad as of late. I don't know what you do with Harrison Barnes. I mean, but when he had that turnover and they just poked it away and stole it, and he looked around like, oh, damn it, I lost the ball. Like, dude, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, he seemed so aloof in the moment, he didn't even know his pocket got picked.
Well, it was just a very, very sad fourth quarter to watch when you're in control of this game for most of it, and then you just let it just completely slip away in the fourth quarter because you can't hit a shot, number one, and number two, you're not adjusting to not being able to hit shots, which should be the case in my mind, and that didn't happen last night. I'm glad we're talking, and the expectations are high when it comes to the Spurs again, and we're bitching about them losing a game in Houston, and it's fantastic, but it is what it is, and they've gotten the expectations up there where Spurs fans should be pissed off about a loss like last night. It shouldn't just be, they were in Houston. No, this was a game the Spurs let slip away, a game they should have walked out of Houston with a W in their pocket. If I could drop this mic, I would. Just bam! I'm fired up now. I want some nasty. Come on, Mitch.
Wembenyama!
Let's go. All right,
he said Mitch.
Mitch. We'll switch gears and talk a little football, the NFL variety, and more importantly, the Dallas Cowboys variety. Our good friend from Blogging the Boys, R.J. Ochoa, joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I want to talk to you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, a company that's been in business in San Antonio and South Texas since 1983. Think about that for just a minute and let that sink in. You want to do business with a company that's got that longevity, and you don't have that longevity if you are not the absolute best in the business. Stevens Roofing is the absolute best in the business. They've proven it for a long, long time. And now they've added solar to what they do. If you've been thinking about solar panels, I know it's going to get cold this weekend, but I tell you what, where we live, it's going to be very hot and plenty of sunshine. If you've been thinking about solar panels, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company you need to remember. The number you need to remember is 210-785-0994. Tell them what you want to do and how you want to do it, and they'll put a plan together with you to fit your needs, and they'll get it taken care of for you. Look, if you think there's something wrong with your roof, you just want to get your roof checked out, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company to call. They'll send a crew out to your house. They'll check your roof for free, and they'll let you know if there's any problems up there that need to be addressed. You can count on Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
Hello, this is Jason Thompson, and as you know, I've been practicing law here in San Antonio for more than 30 years, helping people and families injured in traffic collisions. So I'm often asked, what is the worst thing you can do after a traffic collision? And the answer is easy. That's trying to handle it on your own without an attorney. Insurance companies have spent billions perfecting their strategy of paying nothing or as little as they can get away with. It wouldn't be David versus Goliath. It would be David versus a million Goliaths. You have no chance. Using AI for help is even worse because AI routinely gives dangerously inaccurate legal advice. It is laughably bad on the law. So bad that a lawyer filing a document drafted by AI will likely be disbarred in Texas. Keep it simple. Just call me. My name is Jason Thompson. I'll give you a free review of your case with no obligation to hire me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com. That's alawyerforus.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening a second location for my coffee shop this year?
I smell trouble brewing.
I needed to print new menus, loyalty cards, window signage, so I went to Staples.
That'll cost you a latte. Get it?
Uh-huh. Actually, I saved $100 on my print order, and everything looks amazing.
Well, grind my beans and call me impressed.
Staples made it easy.
If your business needs to print, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Offer valid in-store and online. Ends 1/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
If the power goes out in the middle of winter, do you have a way to stay warm? If not, you need the Vesta off-grid space heater from My Patriot Supply. It's compact, safe to use indoors, and best of all, it doesn't need electricity. Right now, you can get a free Vesta and other bonus gifts when you order the Winter Survival Kit from My Patriot Supply. Just go to MyPatriotSupply.com to see everything included. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
Well, back here on the Blitz, where apparently it's a lazy day. What? And we got caught.
Come on, behind-the-scenes stuff is supposed to stay behind the scenes.
I guess so, but you know.
Apparently, we both yawned and stretched at the same time and had
we were
no
cute,
idea. Yeah,
according to some.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. Here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, calling us out for stretching, yawning in a commercial segment.
And being cute.
Well, I think you guys are cute and precious. That was the other word I told Pledge. But I'm curious, behind the origins of this. Like, you must have both woken up at the exact same moment today, and therefore your bodies are equally tired to where you needed to yawn and stretch at the exact same moment. Like, think about that. That's really cool. You guys are that in sync with one another.
Well, I'm not sure that we're in sync with one another, but it's kind of a dreary day here in San Antonio. Maybe
maybe one of you's a leader and one of you's a follower. Who do you think actually stretched first?
I have no idea. I didn't know Joe was stretching. I wasn't even paying attention to him.
Nor was I.
I knew I yawned and stretched. I had to get up stupid early today.
Yeah.
I was out of the house by 6:45, which for me, unless I'm going to the airport, never happens. But I had no idea that Joe yawned too until you called us out.
Well, you guys are cute and precious. Just keep that in mind. Feel that in your hearts today.
I've had one 5-hour energy. I might go for a second one before long.
No.
Yeah, I might need a 10-hour boost.
He needs a double shot.
Yeah.
Double shot for minutes.
RJ, about this time last week, we were praising the Cowboys and should praise the Cowboys for seemingly doing this defensive coordinator search the right way, casting a wide net and looking at. I'm honestly a little surprised that they have not pulled the trigger on somebody yet.
I think right now is a little bit of a game of chicken. It's like the opposite of musical chairs in the NFL, right? Like everyone's like, okay, who's going to be first? Because we're going to pretend we really didn't want that guy. It's a matter of, you want to be right. It's like when you pull, you guys know this, when you pull a piece of meat off, a brisket off, like you can't go too long, but you can't pull it off too soon. Like there is that sweet spot right in the middle. And I think the Cowboys are handling it well. Like, look, I will be the first one to drag them and dunk on them, you know what I mean, if they bottle this and just, promote Aaron White Cotton or something. But I also think that the Broncos are kind of a bit of a logjam here. Jim Leonhard is someone who is clearly coveted by a lot of teams, and if we believe he's the prettiest girl in the room, the proverbial second is waiting for him to take a job so that they become the next, right? And so whether the Cowboys wind up with Jim or their secondary choice because he chooses someone else, it's just they're the team that happens to still be playing, and that's tying everything else up all in a ball right now.
I think the Denver guy is in demand, which kind of scares me, to be honest with you, RJ, because if the Cowboys are putting all their eggs in that basket, there's going to be a lot of competition for that guy. I know they've had a lot of big interviews, and a lot of those guys, which I'm happy about, are guys you've never heard of. And I think that's what the Cowboys need to do. And I'm pretty, other than Jonathan Gannon, I haven't really heard about a lot of these guys. And I like the new ideas, the youth, the energy that they're interviewing with these guys. And I'm sure that Schottenheimer's got a list. If this guy doesn't pan out, we'll go after this and so on and so forth. I just think they might get into a bidding war with one or two of these guys, and certainly that's not Jerry's MO.
I'll say two things. That one, I agree with you, first of all, that that's not their MO. But if they got into a bidding war, like people have to say when it comes to free agency, like, oh, they're the most valuable professional sports franchise in the world. And again, I'll hate on this team all day long, but do it right. You know what I mean? Do it in a way that makes sense. And that's a way that doesn't. And so this is an example of where you can wield the might of who you are. You can actually weaponize being the most valuable professional sports franchise in the world. And Joe, I think you're a lot of things, but a coward is not one of them, to be very clear. But I think being scared that he's going to be, the only guy they're kind of going all in on and choosing somewhere else, that's a bit of a coward approach. And look, my main criticism of this team for 2 years now has been that they do not have a plan. They do not have a North Star that all of the energy is geared towards. And I've said before, and I've used these exact same words to you all, I'm fine with that plan if it fails or if I disagree with it, but at least have one concentrated plan. So if Jim is their one concentrated plan and it fails, well, that sucks. But you know what? Damn it, respect. Like, you got everyone in a room to all agree on one thing, and you tried your very best. It didn't go your way, but now pick up your pants and do it again. So I'm okay with this approach, again, understanding we still have to grade who the eventual hire is.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Certainly it feels like there's a couple candidates like Gannon that have some ties to Eberflus, and that scares the hell out of a lot of people just because Eberflus was such a disaster. But I was reading a Joseph Hoyt article in the Dallas Morning News about what Seattle did, and there was a quote in there that really struck me. And for those that don't know, the year before McDonald got to Seattle, he was the DC in Baltimore and then got that job. But he was an up-and-coming defensive coordinator. He's still the play caller. But they were ranked 30th in defensive EPA. His first year, they got to 10. This year, they're at number 1. And 7 of the 11 starters on that crappy team are still there. He's getting the most out of them. And that's one of the things he said in his news conference. We're going to design our game plans and call games based off what we feel like our guys can do well, which seems complete opposite of what Eberflus did. Is that kind of mindset, that quote, not exactly what they're using in this search, but that kind of defensive philosophy. Here's what we've got, because I do think the Cowboys have a solid foundation defensively. They need some help, obviously, but do they have the players there that with the right direction can turn into what Seattle has done?
Well, I'm so proud of you for getting EPA. We've come such a long way. Like this really just does make my heart sing. If I could talk to the version of ourselves 10 years ago, they wouldn't believe it. That being said, an old adage is that, coaches coach players, right? Like, you can have an amazing defensive scheme or offensive scheme, whatever, but if the personnel isn't right for it, like what value does it bring? What value does it provide? Now we have to spend multiple off seasons going to get the players who fit your scheme perfectly. No, you need to custom tailor your approach to the talent you have on your team. And I do think the Cowboys have some viable options. They certainly have to restock the cupboard, but I think defensive mind makes Quinnen Williams even better. I think great defensive mind helps the ripple effect and domino effect make somebody like Donovan Ezuraku better. I think DeMarvion Overshown is better with a proper defensive mind. I think we saw that. It's easy to look back at the most successful parts that we've seen of recent Cowboys history, but when Dan Quinn walked in 2021, they brought in somebody in Jaron Curse, who everybody thought was this loser, this scrub. Like, what? Who's this guy you're bringing in from Minnesota and was with Detroit too? And he was awesome. He was a baller. Like, the proper coaches understand the low-hanging fruit is the sweetest for a reason, and I do hope that the guy they get ultimately shares that disposition.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and I think cowardly or not, RJ, it's worrisome to me because I think this position, this particular defensive coordinator, at this point in time in the Cowboys' history, has to be right. And I don't want them to just settle for anybody. And I just think if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, which I'm afraid they're doing, that is worrisome to me. And I know there's a lot of good candidates out there. And I think this Jim Leonhard with Denver might be the best. But Cowboys certainly aren't the only team looking at him. There are a lot of teams out there looking at him. And there are going to be 10 new head coaches in the National Football League, all looking for defensive coordinators.
So I promise this isn't facetious, which I've been accused of being at points in my
Yes, it is.
life.
It is. Go ahead.
Would you rather them just hire a guy so that we could feel like, well, they beat everybody to the punch, even if he was like their third or fourth option, because someone like Jim Leonhard is not willing to blink right now?
Well, I don't know if he's not willing to blink or not, but he can't really talk to anybody.
Well,
but
maybe,
you know damn good and well,
option is someone who can.
He's going to, though. I mean, he's going to talk to everybody.
We're all Patriots fans at this point. I mean, I understand. It's a combination of where the Broncos are at, obviously, and the fact that there are so many openings. It creates a level of unknown, right? Because you're right, somebody's saying, well, I don't know who's going to get the head coach job in Cleveland because I went to school with him, or, my wife, her cousin is friends with whoever, and so I might get that job. Like, there's all these just like would-be hypothetical opportunities for all dudes all over the place. It is a slower burn than it has been in years past, and I do think some of that is because of the wide number of head coaching positions that have changed. But I will say I think the mature thing is to be patient, and it's very, very difficult. So I did not mean to call you cowardly. I certainly don't mean to call you immature. But I think
whatever.
The Cowboys are doing what they can to handle it correctly.
No, I'm gonna split hairs with both of you because I agree with what you're saying, RJ, and I understand the fear that Reinagel has, and I think his place of fear is Jerry's history of not wanting to pay coordinators market value. And when you look at this, will be the fourth coordinator in 4 years, so stability. Is this guy going to want a longer contract, and is he going to want more money? Is Jerry going to participate in a bidding war? He'll tell you all day long that he is overpaid for everything that he's really, really wanted, except for a coordinator.
So I wrote about this, not as beautifully as Joe wrote his article. Hoyt, not Reinagel. But I take a little bit of issue with the 4 coordinators and 4 seasons thing. It's true. It's objectively
It's
true.
a fact, sir. How do you have issues with fact?
My issues is it's not like they fired 3 guys in a row because the defense sucked. Like there's a little. So like if I was the Cowboys and was selling you, no, they didn't. You know, they didn't fire Mike Zimmer. They just changed head coaches. Like that's part of the context. So the last 3, 1 left to become an NFL head coach. So that works in your favor if you're the Cowboys and Dan Quinn. The next one, again, if I'm the Cowboys, I got to fess up. I was acting a real fool in 2024. I did a whole bunch of dumb stuff. And so that included just bringing Mike Zimmer back to hang out with Mike McCarthy on the sinking ship. And then, yes, we truly flubbed. We Eberflubbed by bringing Matt Eberflus in to go with Brian Schottenheimer. We mistakenly thought that Brian needed a former head coach because he was so green, he was so raw. So, like, again, it's a fact. It's true. I'm completely with you in that respect. But it isn't just like, dude, when you allow 30 points in the game, we cut you out. You're done. It's a little bit more unique than that is my 2 cents.
Well, you can have that 2 cents. And the other thing that I think you said a minute ago, that it's the big, bad Dallas Cowboys. So everybody's going to want to come to Dallas.
I never said that.
You did say that. It's like the prestige of being a Dallas Cowboys coach. Look, I don't think anybody gives a damn about that. I think they want to go somewhere where they can be successful. And I'm not sure that Dallas is the most attractive job out there.
I agree with you. And if you think that I'm going to use the word prestige with this team, I would invite you to check out any of my social platforms over the course of the last few years. But that being said, my point with Dan Quinn was if there is and prestige is not the right word, there's a visibility here, right? Like there's a visibility to the job. If you succeed, more people will see it than if you coach for the Browns, than if you coach for the Vikings. And that is not impossible, right? Like look at Brian Flores. You have an elevated opportunity. What you do with it is completely up to you. And the Cowboys will make it a lot harder than it has to be very clear. But my general point is the last time they took this seriously was Dan Quinn, and it led to success for that particular individual.
RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Going to shift gears off of defensive coordinator. Robert Kraft on a Boston radio station, I don't know if he was letting the cat out of the bag, what he was doing, but he said the NFL's priorities, 18-game regular season schedule, 2 preseason games, and an international game for every team every season.
It's really dumb. I mean, we can all poke and laugh at how they cry player safety all the time because they do things like this. I thought Albert Breer put it well. He said that when the owners frame it as, well, we're gonna trade y'all. We're gonna give you another regular season game and take away a preseason game. So it's still quantitatively the same. That's not the same to players, right? Like these players aren't playing in that preseason game, and so it's disingenuous. But I think this is inevitable. Like that's my ultimate emotion is this is inevitable. They want to be playing in all international markets, not just locally here on this continent, but they want to be in Brazil. They want to be in Germany. They want to go back to China. They want to be in Japan. And like my weirdest take about this is I hate the international games. I like the morning. I like the morning where I get to get things set. We all have a routine. I hate when there's an 8:30 or 9 o'clock game that just ruins my vibe, ruins my whole overall setup. So not a fan of this, but I think we all agree that this is going to happen, whether we like it or not.
There's just too much money to be made, and that's I think the point that Robert Kraft is saying that they're making a lot of money. When you've got a stadium in Germany that holds 80,000 people, and there are over 2 million people participating in a lottery to get a ticket for that game, it's hard to overlook, and I think that's what he's talking about. I don't really particularly like it either, and I would hate to see every team have to play an international game every season. I think I don't know. I just don't like where that would go, but
I don't give a damn. Give me more football.
You can't argue with the money aspect of this thing.
With all due respect, because I feel like I've done nothing but crap on Joe's opinions today.
You really
I don't
have.
think that they care. I don't think they care so much about the ticket sales in Germany, but they are inventing a new window, right? Like they have our attention from noon to 10:30 p.m. every Sunday. And I mean, I just mentioned it. Like we have the mornings. You can do what you want. Jason can go down to the meat market and get his slate for the day. You can, go out to brunch or breakfast or whatever the case may be. Not anymore. Now you got to wake up and they have you for 12, 13, 14 hours. They have just out of thin air, due to international partnerships, created an entire new window. The people that are truly pissed off about this are the pregame shows. Because who's going to watch that? Like who, with all due respect, again, who watches the pregame show on any network when there's an actual game on?
Well, I mean, the reality, which one is worth watching anymore?
I agree with that.
I mean, so yeah, give me football at 9 a.m. I'm totally down with that. Add that extra game, and we're getting closer to just naturally. Everybody's wanted the day after the Super Bowl as a national holiday. You kick the season down the road another week. Now all of a sudden, it's right up against President's Day, and you've got your natural holiday.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, too. I'm fortunate that I'm in a line of work where that day isn't really necessarily too
us either.
It wouldn't be for us either, but,
Right.
Nor do I want to be off the day after the Super Bowl, right?
No, I mean, again, if you're at an insurance firm or something, I get it. I'm with you. Fight the power. But I want to talk about the game. That's the whole point. I want to, see everybody and hear how your squares went and whatnot. That's the whole fun and magic of it all. But the only thing I like is 17 is such a stupid number. For that to be the number of games. 18 is even, and I'm curious where that 18th game comes from. Per the rotational schedule, what do you do? Because if you're going to do, and this again doesn't trump player safety and all that, but if you're going to do geographic rivalries, so we get a Cowboys Texans game every year because of that, and you get a Chargers Rams game, a Giants Jets game, stuff like that, that's cool. But if you want to invest in the game, develop those rivalries that don't necessarily exist between teams that are in opposing conferences.
RJ, your shirt's ugly.
Do you know what it is? Can you tell?
I really can't.
No.
I had to insult you once.
It's a bunch of Florida Gators.
Well, it's ugly.
Yeah, like you said.
There you go.
Yeah, that is ugly. Who are you taking this weekend?
I had to insult you, RJ.
Weekend, I will take the Seahawks and the Patriots, and that will open the door for the Cowboys to get their defensive coordinator, and Joe can stop whining, and it'll be nice. I'm looking forward to seeing a Seahawks team in the Super Bowl if that happens. All the ones I've been to, many with you all, it's been Patriots and Chiefs and Niners. I'm willing to accept that the Patriots are going to get there, but give me the Seahawks at the very least. Also, so I can crap on the Cowboys at DeMarcus Lawrence.
Good little rematch there between the Seahawks and the Patriots if it works out that way. One that Pete Carroll flat out blew the last time they played each other.
Who was the halftime performer of that game?
Oh,
if you can tell me.
Elvis
Katy
Presley. I have no idea.
Wow. Well, it's about that time. You're going to have to tell us all the Super Bowl prop stuff coming up soon, Joe, so brush up on your history.
I got it, buddy. Now, gambling is one thing I do know, RJ. I'll talk to you about that.
Are you two going to call each other to say goodnight when you're both going to, close your eyes and go to sleep? Are you that in sync today?
No.
No, not at all. No.
We'll see.
RJ, have a good night, sir. Go take a nap. The great RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com with us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Well, interesting stuff. And again, whether RJ agrees with me or not, I mean, I think it's a legit concern. And when we were talking to Shireen Williams yesterday, she doesn't think Jerry's going to get in a bidding war with anybody.
No.
So my concern is if Leonard is your guy, and he seems to be several teams' guy, then he's going to be able to command a little bit higher price if you want to get him. It's the way it works.
Well, they can't technically interview him. I don't know if there's a rule that they can't have a conversation with the agent to understand if the price range is somewhere Jerry wants to go shopping. It's like when you call your realtor, hey, here's the budget. Well, why am I looking at a house that's $300,000 outside of what I said I can afford, right? So the interview can't happen, but does that mean they can't have any conversations with the agent ahead of time to lay the groundwork?
I'm sure they could, and maybe they've done that. I don't know. I don't know. I just know there's a lot of defensive coordinators that are going to be hired, and the Cowboys are one of those teams that needs a defensive coordinator, and they need to get it right. And I just don't think Jerry's going to get into a bidding war with anybody. And if Jim Leonard's the guy they want, and somebody outbids him, then what? And that's my concern. And if that's cowardly, then that's cowardly. Are they handling this right in my mind? Sure, why not? You've interviewed a lot of people, but the Cowboys have to get this right. I mean, they can't screw around anymore. With Dak Prescott's window closing, with that offense doing, you can't screw this up. This has got to be fixed, and it's got to be fixed quickly. And if you blow another defensive coordinator hire, where does that get you?
I think you just said it. Whatever the price is going to be, because he knows he can't get it right. If that's his guy, and that's what they're waiting on, then price will not be a factor in Jim Leonard not becoming a Cowboy coordinator.
Well, but if you're Jim Leonard, you wouldn't blame him, would you? I mean, if I don't know,
ask for the moon.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens as we continue to follow the defensive coordinator search for the Dallas Cowboys. When we come back, oh my goodness, Bill Taylor's going to join us in the next hour. We'll talk a little bit about the weather, but Charles Barkley's just telling ESPN to fire him. Why would Chuck say that? We'll ask him when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
He likes free money. We all like free money, which is why you need to download the Underdog app because, look, you got the conference championship games this weekend, a lot of basketball. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action where you can make your picks and win money here in Texas. It's easy and it's fun. You look at the player predicted stats like touchdowns, passing yards, rushing yards, receptions, that sort of thing. Build out your pick-em entry, get all your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And I keep looking at Matthew Stafford's passing numbers against that great Seattle defense, but he has had success. And also, you look at with what's going on with Denver and their quarterback and going against the Patriots defense. Already built out a couple of pick-em entries early, and I'll see how those stat projections change as we get closer to game time. You want to do the same? Download the Underdog app. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656-PURE. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
Celebrate the 17th annual Pork Rind Appreciation Day with PorkRinds.com and NFL legend Devin Hester. We're teaming up to support the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund, helping retired players get the medical care they deserve. Want to get in the game? Visit PorkRinds.com to play their Crunch Time Hero game and enter daily to win a trip to the 2027 big game in LA, plus a year's supply of pork rinds. Grab the perfect low-carb snack and be your own Pork Rind Appreciation Day hero today at PorkRinds.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by Smart Tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Texans general manager Nick Caserio at his presser today addressed the Joe Mixon injury, the Texans running back, that sidelined him all year, saying it was a freak thing and that he didn't jump off a building or anything like that. Did not discuss C.J. Stroud and his upcoming extension or fifth-year option. Tom Pelissaro of the NFL Network reports the Steelers, they're going to interview former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Whatever you're doing, stay dry out there. Stay warm, whatever it is. Get prepared for, well, what is supposed to be a very cold weekend here in San Antonio and South Texas. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Joe Reinagel. That young fellow over there is Jason Minix.
Seems like a great weekend to get the hell out of town if you're going somewhere that's warm.
Absolutely. Or 72 degrees in the casino. Either way, it doesn't matter.
72 degrees in a casino. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the weather is outside.
Exactly. And you're going to go somewhere where it's actually colder.
Ooh, geez. Supposed to go to St. Louis this weekend.
What do you mean supposed to?
Well, I mean,
you're not going to be a coward and wimp out, are you?
Dude, it's going to be 14 degrees for the high on Saturday.
It's not like you're going to be hanging out outside.
14 degrees.
Yeah, they got a casino there. Will it be 72 degrees?
Do. Yes, they do, actually. Yeah. Yes, they do. So I got to go handle some family business this weekend. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. A lot of cold weather all over this great country of ours.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
We've been saying ever since Charles Barkley got into TV, and even when he was a player, Charles got away with stuff most people wouldn't.
Absolutely right.
And still does.
Uh-huh.
This dude doesn't give a damn about getting fired.
No.
He has a contract with ESPN. He does. But he's a TNT guy. We all know that history. So he goes on Le Batard's podcast.
Which, is that a no-no as far as ESPN is concerned?
For most, it is weird in this business. Sometimes, I'll text somebody and be like, hey, you're an ESPN affiliate. We can't. Or,
right. Somebody want to call in on our show that does a show somewhere else, and
can't have that. A guy that used to come on a lot can't anymore because he signed a deal with Odyssey. I mean, there are things about the business that are just, quite frankly, about the business. Charles on Le Batard saying they can fire me. I got a 10-year contract, 7 years left. They can fire me. They got to pay me all that money not to work.
Absolutely.
And I'm trying to think, is his contract his lawyer that good to where if they fired him, they couldn't find a reason to fire him? Where they wouldn't have to pay him out?
I don't know if being on Dan Le Batard's show would qualify. Maybe it would. I'm not sure what his contract says. But let's face it. when you're talking about the NBA, Charles Barkley's the star of the show.
Yep.
I mean, he is. He made TNT what they are. Certainly, there were casts of characters with him, no doubt, but Chuck was the star. So ESPN's not going to fire him. It would have to be pretty egregious for them to say, you're fired, Chuck.
Mm-hmm. You know, the opposite is Lane Kiffin, who doesn't know how to honor a contract. Because that dude will bounce in a hurry and somehow always make more. But he says his new job at LSU, all because of the words from one Nick Saban.
When John Carmouche and Verge and Julie came in and met with me, I know I keep saying it, it was just different. The feeling was different, and as I sat there and I told the story at the press conference, you know, I was torn. And when I called Coach Saban and talked it through with him, he said, you know, Lane, you'll always regret if you don't go to LSU. It's the best job in America. And when he said that, that really made the decision for me. And as I've looked at it, it has pushed me. It has got me out of a comfort zone that we were doing amazing things, but you come here and you feel the power of the place, and it drives you every day to even go to another level.
You know, that's interesting, and if Lane Kiffin, what he's saying is true, how the hell does that make Alabama feel? I mean, Nick Saban did a lot of good things at Alabama, but he says LSU is the best job in the country.
And it's a job that Nick Saban did have at one point.
Well, he did, but he left there. I think he went to the NFL first, right? And then back to Bama. Is that how that road went?
Although, help me out. Haven't we heard those that have taken counsel with Nick Saban say the same thing? Well, Nick said it's the best job in America. You got to take that. I mean, didn't Sark say something like the advice from Saban is, dude, it's a great job. You got to take that.
Sure.
Right?
Well, and he's kind of like the godfather, right?
Yeah.
Nick Saban is
Yeah.
to all of these coaches that are there. And he and Lane Kiffin have a relationship. And
I want some coach to apply for a job and say, yeah, you know, I was going to take that job, and Nick Saban told me, run, don't take that one. That's what I want to know from Nick Saban.
And I bet you that's been some of the advice, I would think. Look, I don't think Alabama will ever hire Lane Kiffin. And I think Lane Kiffin wants that job. But just the fact that, I mean, if you're pissed off at Lane Kiffin for leaving Ole Miss for LSU, now you got to kind of be pissed off at Nick Saban, don't you?
Stay there. Maybe it's more about his hate for Ole Miss.
Could be. Maybe that's the job that you should run from. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. The Big 12 is running from playing with the big boys on championship Saturday, it feels like. You know, the Big 12 championship game, they've announced their schedule for the year. They are moving their championship game from that Saturday 11 a.m. kickoff up there at Jerry World, noon Eastern, to Friday night in 2026. Now, you think about championship Saturday, and 9 million people watch the Big 12 championship game this year. They feel like they could do better on a Friday night. They want that window. Now, I know like the American and some of the other non-power conferences kind of have Friday night, so hoping that UTSA is in there, that pisses me off. But the idea that they think they could be better on a Friday than on championship Saturday with all the other big conferences?
I think that tells you exactly where they know they are. I mean, let's face it, the Big 12 conference is the weakest among the so-called power conferences. You got the Big Ten leading the way right now. The SEC is still the SEC. Maybe the Big 12 and the ACC are about the same, I suppose. But
which tells me the ACC will take that noon Eastern slot.
I'm sure that
and then
they
you'll
will.
Get the SEC and the Big Ten.
Well, it's interesting. There's got to be a reason. You know, they don't just
money.
do that.
Money.
Sure.
Money. I'm just not a fan because, you know, hopefully UTSA is in that game on a Friday night. I just feel like the big boys are playing on Saturday, and the Big 12 is saying, no, we're going to Friday night.
Interesting. I'm okay with it. And more football on Friday night.
Again, that time of the year.
High school's over anyway,
High
right?
school football is over at that point. I'm down with that.
I'm good with it.
I'm down with that.
You know what I'm not good with, Jason, is cold weather. I'm not good with it. I don't like it. It's why I live in San Antonio, why I love this city and this area. But it's going to be cold this weekend. How cold, and will it be messy? Well, we call the best weather guy on the planet. His name's Bill Taylor. Works for Ken's 5. We're going to talk to Bill when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And with this cold weather on the way this weekend, if you need your winter gear with your logo on it, go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. He has his entire winter line on display in that showroom. You need that logo on some coats, jackets, vests, half zips, beanies, gloves. Sam can put your logo on anything. You need uniforms. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries, construction, restaurant, medical, schools, and leagues. And yes, the uniform lines do include the winter gear. He has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, and all the popular cap brands, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. All the big-name brands, including now a full line of Tommy Bahama. Nobody has better prices. Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410 right there across from the McDonald's, or go to the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656 PURE. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
License number 38961.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wrap the pipes. What else do you have to do? When
bring your people inside.
Bring your people in.
Bring your pets.
The peas.
Plants.
Pets.
Don't pee outside this weekend. It'd be cold.
Well, it probably would freeze. I would imagine it's supposed to get pretty chilly. This is the Blitz. Here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minnick.
You know, with extreme weather, you go to the best. Bill Taylor from Ken's TV. Dude, I was watching you last night.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, brother.
Trying to figure out what's going on this weekend. What is the actual timeline of when we expect the bad stuff to get here and then get the hell out of here?
Well, I thought the most important thing is what you guys said first. Wrap your pipes, boys.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yes,
Come on
sir.
now. Yeah. This is going to be a major winter storm, man, and there's going to be significant impacts across. I'll just say the state of Texas. I got good news today as the moisture looks to move out a little bit quicker, and if that happens, then we've got less potential of icing in the city. So what I'm seeing is maybe up to about 1/10 of an inch at the most across San Antonio and the metro. You drop into the hill country, we're looking at upwards of 1/2 inch of accumulation. Now, let me back up and get into the timeline. So the timeline, we're probably looking at Saturday night into Sunday morning for something frozen. We're expecting to see, I would say, cold rain all day Saturday. But once we get to Saturday evening and those temperatures get below freezing is when you're going to start seeing that little sleet mixed in. But we won't accumulate. The nice thing is we're going to hit 70 today. We're going to probably hit 72 tomorrow, and then maybe about mid to upper 60s on Friday. So all this warm air going into it helps us because now it's going to be so much harder for the ground to hold and let anything stick. When you're going, you've got to have several days below freezing to really hold anything on the ground for, any more than a few hours. So with that said, we will get cold enough for frozen precip on Saturday evening. And then in the overnight hours, this is what concerns me, is that people go out on Saturday night, those are the ones that are going to run into the biggest issues because it's after midnight into Sunday morning that we could see the most potential of icing. The good news is that it's Saturday night into Sunday morning. Most folks are home. Most people don't have to go to work on Sunday morning. I've been talking to a lot of churches that are looking at canceling early services and maybe just doing a mid-morning or early afternoon service if they have multiple services. But I think if we get this moisture out by 5 a.m. Sunday, which is what the models are looking at today and suggesting today, then we're going to be in better shape. Once we get the sun up on Sunday morning and into, 9, 10 a.m. hour when people are going to church and doing their Sunday thing, that's when we should expect to see, again, a little bit less of a threat with some of the roads.
So, Bill, basically what you're saying, overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning is the worst of it, and then we're going to come out of this thing and be okay.
Absolutely. Now, when we say come out of this thing, that's just moisture. The cold is here through Tuesday. I mean, we're going to be in an icebox, man. We won't get out of the 30s until Monday afternoon, and that's going to be barely, like maybe a high of 40 41. And then on Tuesday morning, another hard freeze. We're going to be in the mid-20s just about every morning, with the coldest of the cold Sunday morning, with a low in the mid-20s and wind chills in the teens for sure.
Bill,
Ray, listen, Joe, I got somebody here that wants to say something.
Uh-oh.
What the hell, Joe?
Oh, wait, is that Ray? Or
that is Ray Silva, baby.
Is that Ray or is that AI?
Yeah, that's AI Ray.
What's up, Ray? Good to hear from you, brother.
Same here. Pretty soon the shackles are going to come off, and I'll be released from this place. I'll be out on parole. Baby. I finally got parole.
Yeah, you've done your time, Ray.
There is life.
You've done your time.
No kidding, man. 4 decades of Ray Silva, best director in the business.
Yep, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that.
Bill Taylor from...
But, yeah, guys, I think, the big story is going to be North Texas. If you've got family up there, man, like I do, my daughter's in Denton, and I'm really worried for her losing power for an extended amount of time, because they could see 2 to 3 inches of ice across DFW. Then you're getting into about maybe a foot of snow. Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, Red River Valley for Texas, and that's going to go east all the way through like Memphis. They're going to be getting some serious snow, and it's a very slow-moving storm too. And that's another problem, is that it'll just sit and pile up ice and snow for a lot of Texans.
Bill Taylor from Ken's TV joining us here on the Blitz. Bill, as you kind of go through that timeline, Saturday night, if you're going out, make sure you're Ubering or plan to get home a little bit early, right? But once once Sunday afternoon hits, or even Sunday night, that shouldn't be an issue. Like if you're going to be on a flight coming back Sunday night, you shouldn't have any issues. At least at San Antonio International, wherever that plane's coming from could be the issue, but not landing in San Antonio.
Yeah, good point. It's just the de-icing, because it's still going to be just brutally cold, because we'll get above freezing by probably midday Sunday, maybe early afternoon at the latest. And then I say above freezing, but we're still going to be in the 30s, and it's going to still feel like freezing, because it'll be a good north wind Saturday and Sunday. But we'll probably get upwards of about 36 or 37 for a high on Sunday. And so at least getting above 32 is the key, and getting the moisture out is the bigger key, and that's going to happen early Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Now I've seen Bill Taylor in action here, and he's going to be looking at those models about 25 million times between now and Friday night. So.
I'm sleeping with him at this point, bro.
Are we talking about Instagram models? What do you mean?
Wait a minute. Are we still talking weather models? Wait a minute.
You've been sleeping with those models for a long time, my friend. So
now I got to get my attorney on the phone. Hold on.
So I mean, the chances of this changing again. I mean, and sincerely, and I know it's not an exact science, but the change. I mean, this could change between now and I don't know, say Saturday morning.
Absolutely. No, Joe, great point, because look, this is not a perfect, science, obviously. And so what I'm telling you now, it is the most fluid situation ever, because meteorology and the atmosphere, it is fluid. It's gases. It's always changing. So we will look at data tonight, tomorrow morning, as we get into more high-resolution data and getting closer. Now we're getting our better handle. I mean, we can really lock things down by Friday morning. And, but we get this information early enough now that we want to get out ahead of it and give you guys enough time to get prepared. These are the days right now that you want to stock up on what you want in the house for the weekend. You want to gas up your vehicles. You want to make sure you're, charged up on everything. You've got everything in place in case you lose power this weekend. Because now you've got the time and the temperatures to do things outside. Prep your, property if you've got things you want to get done outside. Because once we get to Friday night, you're not going to be wanting to go outside until Monday. Maybe not even until Tuesday. I'm telling you, it's just going to be bitterly cold.
Bitterly cold. And again, people are having flashbacks to what happened last time. And
2020.
And look, I kind of like it when you prepare us for the worst and it turns out to not be that bad.
Exactly. And we pray for the best. Exactly. We pray for strength. We pray for peace, and we pray that everybody is heeding this warning and not going crazy on the roadways, because, we've got all these ramps now open. This is going to be the first test of all these really high elevated ramps and flybys that we've got now in the city. And so I'm thinking, they're going to start de-icing agents on Thursday and Friday in the city. And, those are the surfaces that will, of course, freeze first because they're surrounded by air. So when you're driving late Saturday night, Sunday morning, make sure you're on road surface because that's going to be the key. And that should be limited icing, if any at all, because, again, I've got one model that says no ice for San Antonio. I've got another one that says about 0.13 of 1 inch at the most. And so right now, like Joe was saying, those are model predictions that can change as we get more data in, especially tomorrow. But most likely Friday morning is when we can really lock things in.
All right. Now, Billy T., the one thing that I want to know is something that Joe does not believe in because he does not think feels like temperature is a real thing. What is the feels like temperature going to be this weekend?
It will be bitter. I posted a picture today.
What is a number for bitter? Like
Iowa. It's going to feel like the teens on Sunday morning. That'll be the coldest, but it'll feel like the 20s on Saturday. The 20s. And that's what your body. It's what your body thinks the temperature is. It's a calculation between temperature, air temperature, and wind speeds.
So Bill,
why doesn't he believe in this? Why does he not?
When you do your weather forecast tonight, I don't want to hear it's going to be 32 overnight Friday or whatever. I want to put that feels like on there.
Feels like to be. You want that to be the forecast temp, don't you?
That's it. I want to know how cold am I going to be. If I'm expecting 32, I can handle that. But if it's going to be 22, then that's a different thing.
You wouldn't know the difference between 22 and 32 with your feels like. You would not know. It's damn cold.
And as we get old, I think there's got to be a factor as we get older. Because now that Joe's in his 70s, you get the temperature is going to feel tougher with his titanium hip and everything, and it's going to just
that knee replacement, man, it's acted up. I'm telling you,
exactly.
So keep it
on. That should really be a factor because honestly, I feel colder a lot easier now. Like when I grew up, especially in New Jersey, 55 to 60 was not cold. That was beautiful. Now I need a jacket. If it's 55 to 60, I want a light jacket at least.
Well,
and then when the wind starts blowing, you feel it a lot more now.
And by the way, just this is a sports talk show. Congrats to your Giants for hiring the best coach on the planet.
We just got a lot better. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about next season, and we're coming to Houston next year, so I'm really excited about trying to go to that game.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Because being a Giants fan's like an Aggie. As Rob Thompson always calls it, battered Aggie syndrome. You got your hardball, you got the quarterback, you got the running back, you got the receiver. You're just waiting for somehow this thing to screw up, aren't you? Like a Jets fan.
I know. There is that exactly. In the back of your mind, you're just waiting, But, I got to go in excited because it's been a while, brother. It's been too long. 2011?
And you do realize they'll play in Dallas, too.
Every year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, I like Houston because it's a lot easier. And then I don't have to put up with Cowboys fans that want to kill me if I'm wearing a Giants jersey.
Well, and
that's
Texans quarterback sucks. So, there's that. So it's probably a win for you.
I love CJ. I love his heart for God. But, man, did he blow it the other night. Come on, man. I was rooting for the Texans. I was really hoping. But, dude, I'm still on cloud nine of watching Fernando Mendoza. That kid, what a story and what a phenomenal – that touchdown run. That was better than 4th and 9. I don't think Texas fans are going to want to hear that. But Texas fans, I know that Vince Young 4th and 9 Rose Bowl was epic. But that Fernando Mendoza, in that situation, I think beat it.
Don't get carried away.
Prisoner of the moment.
Yeah,
Bill Taylor. From
what do you guys
think?
What do you think? Was that a better play?
It's going to be one of the greats of all time. But, Vince Young did it at the Rose Bowl with the game on the line in what is also considered one of the greatest games ever. I don't know that the Indiana game, Indiana-Miami, will be considered one of the top championship games
No, you're right
ever.
there. That's a great point there. Yeah, great point there. I just think, was Mendoza planning on a run? Was that a QB draw from the start?
It was a 4th and 5. It was a quarterback draw, and then, he got hit at the 5, and he spun, and then he dove, and that's going to be the statue and posters on walls in Indiana forever. But slow down a little bit when trying to say that might be better than what VY did.
Las Vegas Raiders is his next destination.
Oh, brother. Here he comes. He's going to Vegas.
He's going to Vegas. Hey, Bill, I know you're on at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And
I love talking to you guys. Yeah, man, this is awesome. I appreciate you guys having me
Absolutely.
on.
In the meantime,
all day long.
Bill Taylor will be huddled with the models. So he'll give you the latest on every one of those weather forecasts. So.
Don't tell Jamie, bro. Come on, don't tell Jamie.
Yeah, wrap your pipes, Bill.
All right, love you guys. Take care.
Appreciate you.
The great Bill Taylor on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control. Forgot the line and the sales.
For San Antonio and beyond.
BuyersBarricades.com.
That's teamwork, brother.
There
right
you go.
there. No, love talking to Bill Taylor. And, keep it on Ken's 5 or whatever your favorite weather person is. It ought to be Bill Taylor. But if it's not, so you can figure out how to be prepared.
Who's on the other stations now?
I have no clue. I don't. I really don't. Honestly, do not.
I mean, I like the guy on 4, but I don't know. And I can't think of his name.
I don't know it either.
I have no idea who's on 12.
No. Oh, Caskey. Adam Caskey. Is he still there?
Who's on first?
I was going to say Spivey, and you go Caskey.
Well, Spivey's the blonde, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait a minute, Pledge. Easy. Just keep it on Ken's 5.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. Bill Taylor will set you straight. He certainly will. Good talking to him. Nick Caserio was in the hot seat today. Little press conference there with the Houston Texans, and talked about Joe Mixon, but didn't mention anything about his quarterback, which I find kind of strange.
Sort of.
And what does that mean? We're talking about it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And let me tell you about Synergenics and Low T Center as you're trying to get healthier this year. And, in today's world with AI, hard to believe with your own eyes certain things that you see. You got to ask, is this real? Well, let me tell you what is real, and that's your health and what the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center can do to change your life for the better. So if you've been dealing with symptoms of low testosterone, like you're just feeling off, lack of focus, always tired, Synergenics and Low T Center, you can go meet with a real provider, not a chat bot on a website, and you're going to get a superior medication, service, and support, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. That is real. It starts with a simple test. It's quick and it's free. The TRT test at Synergenics and Low T Center is free. They have an on-site lab, which means you get your results in about 20 minutes. You don't have to wait for days like at other places. And if you need it, you can start treatment right away. And you also get the choice to be treated at the center, or you can get at-home treatment. Not just for guys, they take care of ladies as well. And for a limited time, the women's hormone test is only $99. Normally, it's $299, so you can save $200. Don't wait. Get in now to change your life for the better. Go to the website, getmyhealthfix.com. That's getmyhealthfix.com.
Start the year in dry at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. All Silverado 1500s get 1.9% financing plus an additional $1,250 trade-in rebate. Or buy a new Colorado for only $28,999. And the affordable Trax is only $346 a month with zero down. Plus, all heavy duties have 5.9% financing for 84 months. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Your holiday decor is down and suddenly your house looks very January. Kohl's can help you bring the spark back. No twinkle lights needed. Save on bedding that feels like a snow day. Decor that'll boost the mood. And Shark vacuums because, yes, you're still finding pine needles. Get an extra 15% off some of your fave store-wide. And beat those winter blahs at Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends January 25th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons do not apply to Shark. See store or Kohls.com for details.
George gets justice. In San Antonio, we look out for each other. So if someone's reckless driving puts you in the hospital, don't call some out-of-town lawyer. Call someone who actually lives here and will fight for what you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers. Because to George, you're a neighbor and he's got your back. And remember, you only pay if they win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Let's get wild. You know, it's good to hear from Nick Caserio, the Houston Texans GM today, especially he got honest about Joe Mixon, the running back, a little bit, at least more than they have been. But there were a lot of things that were kind of left out. By the way, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. We appreciate y'all stopping by and spending a little time with us here on the Blitz.
Absolutely. And again, the Houston Texans offseason has started. And quite frankly, I think a lot of people are surprised by that, including Nick Caserio. Now, Nick Caserio said a lot of things today, and he answers a lot of questions with a lot of word salad. Man, there's a whole lot of words that don't say anything. Although when he was asked about the roster that he put together not being good enough, it seems like he threw his quarterback under the bus.
I mean, I'm not really sure the question. I'd say we had one of the best teams in the league. So, I mean, we went out there and competed with every team in the league that we played. So, I mean, I'm not sure like what the question is.
I can specify. You know, the offense, according to their statistics, didn't take a huge jump offensively. And I'm wondering.
The most important statistic is winning games. So that's what we're focused on.
100%, but you lost in the divisional round again. You ultimately want to get farther. Do you feel like you could have done more to get to that point? Or were there circumstances that you felt were out of control?
We had a good enough team to win any game we played. In the end, we didn't execute well enough. You can't turn the ball over 5 times in a divisional playoff round. I mean, taking care of the football is the single most important stat correlated to winning. I mean, look it up. It's the truth. If you don't turn the ball over, you enhance your chances of winning. It's 85, 90%. I mean, so that's the most important stat. Turnovers, taking care of the football, like look around the league. So in the end, we had a good enough team to beat anybody. We played with every team in the league. There's more room in front of us. And in the end, if we execute better, we'll still be playing. I mean, I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but that's the truth.
And he's absolutely right. The Houston Chronicle reporter asking that, Jonathan Alexander, and I appreciate him asking that question. But Caserio had a great answer coming back. They win that game if they don't turn the football over 5 times. I mean, you just can't do that, C.J. Stroud, and that's a problem. And you read that however you want to in Nick Caserio's answer.
Well, and again, everything else, and we all know, you've got to value the football. You've got to not turn it over. Everybody that lost this weekend lost the turnover battle.
Yep.
Whether it was the Bills, the Bears, the Niners, the Houston Texans. I mean, but for him to answer, dude, my roster was good enough to win if these players don't turn the ball over and execute. I mean, he's right.
Absolutely. Even losing.
I am surprised, though, that he said it. While it is right for the GM to say that, basically, yeah, if my quarterback didn't suck on Sunday or Saturday, whenever they play, we would have been just fine.
Well, exactly right. He's got to take up for himself because that reporter was clearly saying, hey, Caserio, maybe you didn't do your job. and the offense wasn't good enough. There weren't enough pieces around there. Keep in mind, and I'm not here to make excuses for the Texans, Nico Collins is out. Tank Dell is out. You lose Dalton Schultz early in that football game. And that's 3 huge weapons for C.J. Stroud. Now, if they're in the game, does C.J. Stroud still just play like he's never played football before? Who knows? But those guys were out, and it's a reason or an excuse, and I'm going to tell you, it certainly didn't help.
Except for that offense wasn't great all year, even when those guys were around. And C.J., with millions on the line with this offseason, and when asked about picking up the either fifth-year extension or new contracts, Nick Caserio had his shortest answers of the day, basically saying it's business, we'll look at it, we don't talk contracts in public, all that kind of stuff. Non-committal. Then of course, he was asked about his offensive coordinator. Talking about your star players, very short answers. He goes on for nearly 2 minutes on why Nick Caley's going to be back, but what does he actually say?
Yeah, I would anticipate Nick being here next year. I think Nick learned a lot, first opportunity as a play caller. I'd say offensively, probably the last 2 to 3 months of the year, played pretty good football and did a lot of good things. So there was growth and improvement. There's always areas that we can improve and get better. And that's what, D'Amico mentioned the other day. Next couple weeks right after the season, was kind of looking at everything, go through, the coaching staff, go through other aspects of the staff. Is there anything that we have to do? All right, then we'll look at some things schematically, start to go through the self-scout, try to figure out, all right, what are some of the things that we did well? It's interesting. D'Amico started this when he got here. So the other side of the ball basically goes through and watches their respective sides. So like the defensive coaches will basically go through and watch the entire offensive season. Offensive coaches will watch the defense. And it's basically just for observations. Hey, through that lens, what do you see? Hey, what are some of the things that we did well? What are some of the things that caused problems? What are some of the things, this, maybe a little bit less of this, whether it's schematically, whether it's personnel-wise. And there's good communication. I think it's a great exercise. We didn't do anything like that in New England, but I think there's some teams that do that. So what we're trying to do is say, hey, we know kind of where we are as a team, and I think sometimes when you're working on one side of the ball, you maybe see it through one lens. Sometimes when you're on the opposite side of the ball, you see it through a different lens. And I'd say the rapport amongst the staff is really good, so we can communicate honestly and openly with each other. So it says a lot, and honestly, it speaks to who D'Amico is. So that's what we're going through right now. So, I would anticipate Nick being here, next year. And all of us are just trying to improve and do what we can to make the team and the organization better.
Have a little chicken for that salad? Holy cow.
We're just trying to improve and get better.
Yeah.
We're going to watch some tape. We're going to get better.
Again, look, I don't blame Nick Caserio. I think certainly the defense they've put on the field is second to none. But the players still have to play. You've got when you put them out there, and it's the same with the Cowboys or any team. At some point in time, the players have to perform. And when the time to perform came, C.J. Stroud did not. He got lucky against the Pittsburgh Steelers, did not get lucky against the New England Patriots.
Yeah, very, very true. Now, one of the crazier things, he started his press conference with a long comment knowing that he was going to get the questions. He was trying to get ahead of what happened with Mixon and Tank Dell. And there were injuries and blah, blah, blah. And then there was a follow-up on Joe Mixon because the dude still hasn't been around. I hadn't seen him. But at least we know that it wasn't anything crazy that caused the injury.
No, I would say he didn't do anything off the field. It wasn't like he was riding like a snowmobile or anything like that. I'd say it was just more of a medical condition or situation that just it really didn't improve maybe as much as everybody would have hoped. I'm not trying to evade the question. I think that's the reality of the situation. So he didn't jump off a building, he wasn't cliff diving or anything like that. He wasn't doing anything irresponsible. It was a freak thing. Honestly, I'd never seen it. Just the condition.
A freak thing. Well,
yeah, I don't know what that is.
Cliff diving.
It wasn't that.
Snowmobile.
Wasn't a snowmobile.
Wasn't any of that. But boy, zero details. Now, Joe Mixon is under contract, so all he said is we'll evaluate his situation and see where it goes, which, again, very, very vague.
Very vague, and they could have used Joe Mixon. A healthy Joe Mixon would have made a difference in that ball club. There's no doubt about it. So, look, they'll regroup, and they just got to figure out what to do with C.J. Stroud. And I hate to say that for the young man, but think about it. I mean, as good as he was his rookie season, he has not come close to that since, and in fact has regressed. So Caserio and company have to figure out if they're willing to give this guy $200 million moving forward or more as their franchise quarterback. And right now, I wouldn't do that. I would not even come close to doing that right now.
All right, now you say that, and I don't disagree with that. I'm just going to play devil's advocate right now.
All right.
Kind of like what we talked about yesterday. When you drafted C.J. Stroud and then traded up with the next pick, you took Will Anderson. You had a plan, and that plan included signing both of those to top-of-the-market contracts if they panned out. Will Anderson has certainly panned out. CJ, there's questions. But everything that was said today by Nick Caserio, everything that was said the other day by D'Amico, C.J. Stroud is still their guy, at least publicly. Although I put together a hell of a roster. If you don't turn it over, we win the game.
Yeah, 5 times.
Which again, while true, I was surprised to hear that from Nick Caserio. He generally doesn't say something like that. But it is true. But let me ask you, if your plan was to sign CJ this offseason, last summer, as you have financially structured everything, anticipating he's going to get one of those top-of-market deals, do you do that now? Do you change your plan? Or do you bite the bullet and reasons or excuses? They have a lot more info on what was going on. If they're bringing Nick Caley back, which surprises me and probably pisses off every Houston fan out there, but they want that continuity, that consistency with him and C.J. Stroud. If your plan was to sign him this offseason, knowing the price rarely goes down unless you part ways with them, and do you want to start over when you've got this defense? But financially, you've been planning on paying him this offseason. Do you just go ahead and do it?
No, I wouldn't. Now, let me ask you something, all you Nick Caley haters out there. Was he the one that, as he was falling backwards, just throws the football straight up in the air? Was that Caley's fault? Was that a bad play call? No, that was C.J. Stroud's fault. Was it when C.J. throws, 6 feet behind his receiver, was that Caley's fault? Or was that C.J. Stroud's fault? Look, with this defense, I would be of the opinion to start over if I had to, because nobody can be any worse than C.J. Stroud was the last 2 playoff games. And I'm certainly not going to write that man a check for, $250 million or $300 million, whatever the thing is, after that performance. I think that's just that would be malpractice.
And again, it's not just one performance, it's 2.
Yes.
He set a record for most turnovers in a playoff run because most don't get the opportunity to win a game when you have that many turnovers. The good news for C.J. Stroud is he played Pittsburgh in the first round. Do you even pick up the 5th-year option at that number? I
think they're going to.
But even that's such a high number.
Sure.
Or do you rip the Band-Aid off and make a change? Because if you don't, are you risking whatever the word is inside that locker room? Because it seems like the players have his back. He's popular in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a nice guy.
And so
great guy.
But again, when you're thinking about the culture inside the room, kind of like a coach, dead man walking, I want them to bring in some competition. I want them, if they're going to make a change, start planning on who that person is right now. But
Well, on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, Jason, Daniel's got a solution. You just trade Stroud for Josh Allen. Problem solved.
Sure. We saw the Joe Burrow one the other day.
Dude, I would do that in a heartbeat.
The Lamar Jackson one.
Are you kidding me? I don't know.
Well,
in all honesty, I love Lamar Jackson. Love watching him play. And Joe Burrow, you could say the same thing. Injury problems. You never know if those guys are going to stay healthy. I don't know that that's the answer, but I think if you find a way to bring somebody in that can make C.J. Stroud uncomfortable, that can make C.J. Stroud compete. Because right now, He's got no competition. Davis Mills is not going to take his job. Bring in somebody that is a threat to C.J. Stroud, because when you have competition like that, that typically will make a player either improve or show those warts even more. And either way, you've got your answer.
What's the old saying? Poop or get off the pot?
That's exactly right.
At least I could say it that way on the radio.
Yes.
Because you bring up Josh Allen, their owner, Pagula, has certainly made the Buffalo job seemingly more unattractive by giving all the power to the GM,
Brandon Beane,
and Beane, who put together that roster that apparently Sean McDermott questioned, and that apparently pissed off Beane and Pagula, and then he threw Sean McDermott under the bus.
Yeah, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's talking about Keon Coleman, the wide receiver for Buffalo, who is still under a rookie deal and has 2 years left on his contract.
But he couldn't get on the field this year. He wasn't even active for half the games.
Well, and that's off-field problems, and that is a problem. But if you're Keon Coleman and you hear your owner of the football team, your boss, talking about you like that, what do you do?
Well,
the Bills need Keon Coleman. That's why they drafted him. I mean, he just hasn't panned out.
And again, while the owner of the Bills can say that's true, you go back to the draft, watching him at the combine. There's audio of Beane seemingly loving Keon Coleman. They've got one of those behind the scenes, and he said, quote, "When I went to bed that night, I was like, if it's Keon, unless someone just blows us away." Now, who knows what the truth is, and maybe that was all out of context because all that stuff's floating around now saying, really? You said, here's the truth? Well, here's the audio. Maybe at that point, Brandon Beane was on board with Sean McDermott and the coaching staff that Coleman was the guy. Keep in mind, hindsight being 2020, Keon Coleman was taken with the 33rd overall pick, first pick of the second round.
Oh, my God.
Right after that, the second pick of the second round in the draft, some dude named Ladd McConkey that went to the Chargers.
Wow, he's pretty good.
And again, who knows?
How many lists of players and drafts do we have like that?
Well,
right?
And we'll never know who Brandon Beane wanted. But if the coaching staff stood on the table for a guy and, all right, all right, that's who you want, coach, that's who I'll get. I was thinking this guy, but if you don't want him, we'll take your guy. But now you've got the owner basically saying we don't like a player, and the GM doesn't like a particular player in the locker room, and we fired a coach who disagreed with us, and come on in, it's an attractive job. You get Josh Allen.
Well, sure, but if you're Brandon Beane, you better figure out a way to get A.J. Brown to Buffalo, or something like that, because that's the big rumor that's going around. Just a couple of things. If you haven't heard, Mike McDaniels is going to the Chargers as their offensive coordinator. And Davis Webb is an interesting name in the coaching search, Jason, because he's a young dude. But the Raiders seem to have it could be, but I know he's good friends with Josh Allen as well. Apparently, he's good friends with Cliff Kingsbury also.
Yep.
Because Cliff says wherever Davis goes, he could very well be in the running for his offensive coordinator.
Well, keep in mind, Cliff was his head coach at Texas Tech before he transferred to finish out at Cal.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Lots going on in the NFL. We'll keep you posted on that. We've got some Parker McCollum tickets we're going to be giving away coming up here pretty soon. He is in the Frost Bank Center coming up on the 31st of January. So keep that in mind. In other words, just keep it right here.
Yeah.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs blew a 16-point lead in Houston last night. They lose to the Rockets 111-106. Spurs back in action as the road trip continues. They'll take on the Jazz in Utah tomorrow night. Miami Dolphins have requested permission to speak with Cowboys assistant special teams coach Carlos Polk for their special teams coordinator opening. That's per ESPN's Todd Archer.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Guess what day it is?
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Happy Hump Day, everybody. We've made it. It's the middle of the week. You're almost over that hump, heading into the weekend, albeit a very cold weekend. We appreciate you taking some time to stop by and visit with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix. And how's your Hump Day, Minix?
It's solid Wednesday.
Solid Wednesday.
Solid Wednesday.
Solid Wednesday.
Ready for the weekend
All
to
right.
get here.
Yeah. Solid. Does that mean, is that like middle of the road or just average? Or
Well, it's
what is
not
that?
6'7", it's solid.
6'7".
As the kids say.
As the kids say.
I don't know. Out of curiosity, with the weather that is expected this weekend, I'm going to Vegas, so it won't matter to me. But there's no football on Saturday, right?
Nothing.
And we're at the time of year where, all right, what are we watching now? Like last night with the delay at the beginning of the Spurs game, I was like, oh, this is going to take a while. So I watched Landman and missed the beginning of it. It was on the other TV, but I wrapped up this episode 10 of Landman. Could
It
not
was
wait.
fantastic, yeah.
Thought I would do that tonight, but with the basketball game delayed and they kept saying it was going to keep going, I just put it on the second TV in the living room and finished out Landman. Holy crap, what a finish.
Yeah, great
Considering
finish.
season 2 started to drag and almost bailed, my goodness, I'm glad I waited. And I don't yet know, can we talk about it? Because there are people out there that might not have watched it because, you know,
talk about it.
We had football Sunday. We had football Monday. Spurs playing the Rockets last night. So if you haven't gotten around to, holy crap, was the final episode good.
Yeah, it was really good, and now looking forward to season 3, which I read an article yesterday that says they're going to start shooting that in April, and we could very well have season 3 by the end of this year or the first part of next.
Well, good. Get on that one. But what is everybody going to start watching, or what have you been watching that's good? Because in today's world, you have to do that. What's out there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's on?
Good question. While you're pondering that, on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, everybody says HEB is ridiculous right now. Are we out of toilet paper?
Uh-oh.
I mean, seriously, every time something happens and people, they panic, they buy up all the toilet paper. Why is that? I mean, honestly, is that the number one thing you're worried about running out of if your electricity goes out is toilet paper?
Well, let me ask you this, Ryan Eagle. Do you have enough toilet paper in your house?
Well, I don't know, Minix, if I do or not. I'm assuming that I do.
Well, okay.
If not, I know I got a bunch of paper towel rolls.
Would you actually do that?
Well, of course, if I had to.
If you had
in
to.
a pinch.
But you
I
would
got
rather,
a bunch of Kleenex boxes.
You'd rather stock up on the Charmin to make sure.
No. I'd rather stock up on, I don't know, call me crazy, maybe food, drinks, something. I mean, I can poop and rub my butt across the grass like the dogs do.
It's going to be cold outside. You're not going to do that.
I'm just saying.
Are you going to go jump in your pool?
I just don't understand why that is the first thing to run out. Everybody runs and grabs toilet paper. I don't get it.
Charmin loves it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they do.
I mean,
somebody make it make sense.
Well, all right. I mean, it's something that everybody needs is toilet paper. And I don't know about you, but that's the last thing you want to run out of. And we always have plenty in my house, and it's me who makes sure of that. And it goes back to my days in the Navy. Because when you're out in the middle of the ocean, you learn really quick that you have a couple of extra rolls in your locker, and that's what you use because that's the good stuff. The sandpaper that they offer isn't there, and then if you run out of that, it's the brown paper towels, which is awful. So
sure,
right? So to me, you would hoard toilet paper when on your ship because that's a luxury in life that you don't want to do without. Now, you're a dude. Imagine if you're a lady. You want to make sure you got the good stuff.
Well, I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I'm pretty sure nobody's getting on a ship this weekend.
Well, but it's the fear of not. I mean, there's plenty of food. I might not be a fan of what's in there. Might be the 8th frozen pizza. It might be, beans out of a can if the power's out and you can't do something. But I'm gonna be comfortable while wiping.
If you don't have anything to eat, you got nothing to poo. So I mean, how are you gonna wipe? I'm
with you.
I understand stocking up on that stuff, but I just don't understand why that is a priority. Because I guarantee you go to any HEB in town right now.
For a guy that travels with dude wipes, I can't believe that you're saying why would anybody care or worry about running out of toilet paper.
Well, dude, I can make do with something else. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it may have skid marks, something, but I mean, I can make do.
Just jump in the shower when you're done.
I guess. I just don't. I've never understood that. Why toilet paper is the first thing to go off the shelves of the local HEB.
I'm with you, but I like the fact that people want to be clean.
Well,
that right?
I'm good with that too.
I'm that.
I
Pledge is saying we need to talk to Jordan. Jordan, you're on the Blitz.
Right,
what's
Jordan.
up?
All right, so my father served in the Navy, and I went on a Tiger cruise with him. And
for people that don't know, Tiger Cruise are generally 1 or 2 days where your family members can go out.
Okay.
Correct. I was a teenager. It was on the Theodore Roosevelt. It was an awesome experience.
Oh, nice.
But he was like, we got to we got to make sure we have toilet paper. Ironically now, when something happens, and he lives north of me here in Texas, he doesn't have to worry about toilet paper because he has a colostomy bag.
Okay.
Okay.
So he no longer requires the toilet paper. My mom does. But they make sure, and they get a lot more winter weather than we do, water and canned food. That's what should be jumping off the shelf.
I totally agree with that, Jordan.
And you go on the great aircraft carrier, Jordan. Did they do a flyby for you guys out there on your Tiger Cruise?
Oh, they didn't do a flyby, but it was the year the Ryder Cup, I forget where it was, the captain and the co-captains were on the ship with us, and my dad was a signalman, which is no longer there, flew the flags on the top of the ship, but we got to hit golf balls off the flight deck of the Theodore Roosevelt.
Always a blast, man. That is awesome. Jordan, appreciate that. Tell your dad thank you for his service. Yeah, you don't want to run out of toilet paper on a ship, I can tell you that.
I'm sure, but again, I don't know. Maybe
PTSD, man.
Maybe that's the deal. Everybody's getting on a ship this weekend. I'm just saying. I don't understand. Most people are not. Can we agree on that?
No, nobody's getting on a ship this weekend. But the mentality is you don't want to run out of paper. You're stuck at home. Everybody's going to be using the bathroom. You're probably going to be eating a lot because you're bored and you got the all-day grazing while you're watching movies or whatever. And maybe everybody's going to do a 5-alarm chili this weekend because it's cold outside, which will lead to you better have a lot of toilet paper.
Well, okay. Hey, if that's what you're doing, I guess I'll call you hey, Minix, I'm out of toilet paper. I need a roll.
He won't be there.
For a small fee, you can have some.
I'm not going to HEB and stock up on toilet paper.
But you're
call me crazy.
You're going to go to HEB and you're going to stock up on some beer. And I don't know, whatever it is you want to eat, and probably grab some toilet paper if you see it.
Nah.
At least we're not chasing wipes anymore.
Not gonna. I think I'm in good shape, toilet paper wise.
You better hope so.
Well,
you better text your wife and see.
By the time we get off the air here at 6:00, and I get to an HEB, the shelves are going to be empty.
And DoorDash some now.
Why?
Why not?
I'm not. DoorDash.
Come on, you got to feed into the fear, my friend.
I'm not doing it. We heard Bill Taylor a few minutes ago say this is a one-night event. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. If you can make it one night without a roll of toilet paper, if you had to.
And even then, it's late Saturday night into early
You'll be asleep. You're not going to be pooping. You're going to be sleeping.
You better hope you're not pooping if you're sleeping.
Well, I hope not. Then you got the sheets to wipe your butt.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad you really finished that sentence.
I
thought you were talking about pooping and then sheets and all.
I will never.
Pledge was going for the dump button.
I will never understand the attraction to toilet paper in times of so-called emergencies.
Because your priorities are beer.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure I got a fresh bottle of vodka at the house. And, and all the mixes, and I'll be good to go. I'm just saying, I don't understand. If somebody can make that make sense to me, please let me know. I invite you to do that. Whether you're on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you can comment there, like and subscribe our page. On Twitter, I'm at Joe Reinagle. He's at Jason. I'm at Joe Reinagle 210, by the way. I am Joe Reinagle, though. He's at Jason Minix.
Sure?
I'm not sure at this point about anything.
My God.
Or you can call us, just like Jordan did on his Tiger Cruise.
Our buddy Adam from KSAT just sent a picture heading to the Lion's Den. It's a picture of Costco.
Is he going to get toilet paper?
84 rolls.
Jeez.
You want him to get you some?
No, I don't.
You want him to go buy Costco liquor and get you some vodka?
At this point in time, I'd rather not even wipe. Just to prove a point.
Try to shove it up their ass.
I'm just saying. Holy cow.
Don't say that.
All right. Let's move on.
Stick it up their ass.
Not wiping the rest of the week to prove a point.
Just to prove a point.
He's wearing white pants.
Going to be stinky. Spurs kind of pooped the bed last night.
Not kind of.
They did. I hope they had a lot of toilet paper on that ride to Utah after that. They blow a huge lead to the Houston Rockets. We're talking about it. We'll hear from Wimby and Mitch Johnson as well when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, bad weather or not, you know, you're watching football on a Sunday with the AFC and NFC championship games, basketball up until then. Add a lot more excitement to watching by playing along on Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action, make your picks, and win money right here in Texas. A lot of fun to play, and it's easy. You look at projected stats, and then you choose higher or lower. And it's stats like their passing yards, rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, kicking points, sacks. So many things you could do to build out your pick-em entry. Get all your picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And I love early in the week for big playoff games like now is looking now, building out some pick-em entries, knowing that some of those stat projections could change as we get closer to kickoff. A lot of fun to do. So what are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use my promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Uncover the root of your problems and improve the quality of your life. I'm Dr. Torres from the Institute for Functional Health. For more than a decade, we have helped people restore energy, vitality, libido, and drive. Most patients come to us because they feel unheard or stuck. Schedule your discovery day. We'll talk about your history, run advanced testing, and build a personalized plan that fits your life. We have helped thousands of people just like you. Call 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 210-468-1891.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Great hump day here in the beautiful city of San Antonio. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Having a good time today talking about lots of different stuff, but a lot going on. I'm Joe, he's Jason. Lots happening. And I think Spurs fans, I don't know, maybe some giving them a break, Jason. I'm a little, for the first time this year, I'm a little bit irritated by the way they played last night.
Yeah, I won't say it's the first time, because this trend of blowing big leads is starting to really piss me off. And when you do it to, in a game with the Houston Rockets, you had that game won, and you're chasing them in the standings. But it's becoming too normal for this team to blow leads. And I'm frustrated. Spurs fans frustrated. Wemby certainly sounds frustrated.
Same as usual, blowing 15-plus point lead. The good thing is, we're all onto the problem. We're all putting our minds into it, but we're conscious it is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and he does sound a little frustrated, but I mean, he's got to do something too. The guy was 0 of 7 last night from the 3-point stripe, and I don't know when that is. And I know they say shoot or shoot, and you shoot your way out of a slump. But I mean, when you're 0 of 7, you might want to try something different and then go back to it, perhaps.
Well, and this is where I'm blaming Mitch Johnson for last night. And a lot of these blown leads. And I say that. This team has to learn how to win. They have to develop that killer instinct. But when you see a lead, again, you've got a big lead, and as the other team is making their run, calling a timeout. You see your team just coming down and jacking up a 3 with 17 seconds, 18 seconds, 19 seconds on the shot clock. Run a play. Run a high-percentage play. At the very least, bleed the shot clock down to around 5, under 5. Shorten the game. When you just transition and you're trying to jack up a 3 and then you don't get the rebound and they're going the other way and scoring, I mean, as a coach, what are you doing to try to stop the bleeding? I don't see him doing much. And I love the fact that they all, especially Wemby, sounds like he knows what the problem is. I mean, Eve said, we're rushing stuff.
There's many details, but I think the main idea and that all of us can see, because it's obvious, that we're rushing.
Yeah.
In our minds, on the court, sometimes overreacting. So yeah, I think the good thing is that nothing makes you learn and makes you mature like failure, or losses, defeats. So we're learning quicker. We're taking in a lot, while still being a winning team. So it's we're gonna figure it out. We need to mature a little bit, I think.
No, let's hope so. And again, they're still in a pretty good position. But this is a game, and there's been others like this one that you got to walk away with a W. Blowing 16-point leads, taking 53-point shots. 53-point shots, of which you only made 14 of those 50, is not good, because in that fourth quarter, what happened? And I'm going to give Reed Shepherd all the credit in the world. That kid would grab those rebounds, and they're all long rebounds, and he would get down to the other end of the court as fast as he could and make circus shots. I mean, he was so aggressive last night in that fourth quarter that he almost single-handedly led the Rockets to that comeback win.
All right. Now, some of the comments on our YouTube page, and you can always comment there. Go to YouTube and search out San Antonio Sports Star. You can also call us, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. And I'm seeing a lot of these comments. I try not to go there, but it is true. It is January, right? One of the comments says, feels like the coach doesn't have control sometimes. Lets him do whatever. Pop would have benched him. And again, when you're
some truth to that.
When you're replacing Pop, and Mitch is going to have to deal with the comparisons to one of the greatest coaches ever. What I do know, it is January. Pop would have taken his post-game press conference and called him soft and really bitched, and Mitch just very politely explained the fourth quarter collapse.
Yeah, a lot of things went in the fourth quarter. I mean, obviously Houston did a heck of a job the whole second half of guarding us, ramped up their physicality, ramped up their level of aggression, and we had a rough whole half. The fourth quarter was obviously less than the third, but a variety of things. We missed some open shots. We weren't strong in creating leads, catches, passes, mental stuff in terms of sharpness on play execution. It was a variety of things all across the board.
And I'm just gonna, go have a cup of tea and relax and I don't know, watch Landman. I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like. And I know Mitch's personality is not Greg Popovich or most other basketball coaches in the world, but I mean, even Mitch Johnson is going to have to get it's okay to yell at those guys. I mean, it's okay to do that. I mean, I don't see what the problem is, and I would just like to see some emotion out of Mitch.
And again, his personality is that, and generally with basketball coaches, you see him over there. Let's go, Pop. Going Serbian on those guys.
They're nuts.
But at some point, why aren't you calling a timeout? Why aren't you drawing up a play as opposed to just rolling down and jacking up threes? I mean, honestly, there were times last night that it was like, well, what is Mitch doing? I mean, does he need a beverage and some popcorn? He's just watching.
No emotion on his face.
And again, if that's his personality, that's his personality. But when you keep Kevin Durant in check, Durant scored 18 points. He only made 2 3-pointers last night. KD did have 7 assists. And he, if they counted hockey type assists in basketball, he had had a bunch. But that was such a winnable game against the team that you're holding off in the standings right now. And again, Oklahoma City's got a 6-game lead on the Spurs. That's sizable. But the Spurs are the 2 seed right now. The 6th seed and the 7th seed, Phoenix and Minnesota, are only 3 games back, right? This is going to be such a tight race in the Western Conference to the finish line where a loss like that is nuts. I mean, you just can't. That's just such a bad loss.
Can we compare like apples and, I don't know, pecans at this point in time? Pledge just puts up on the board, Kurt Signetti shows no emotion. Now, he just won a national championship, and he does show emotion.
He does. He gives you that eye.
He gives you that eye. And look, Mitch, basketball coaches are nuts, and I love the fact that they are. Most of them are that way. And Mitch needs to get into this team. I mean, they're a bunch of young guys, with the exception of a couple of players. They're young guys. Get into them. I mean, Pop did it, and he was great at it. And most of the great coaches do that. You've got to command that respect and say, look, if you're not playing well, I don't care who you are. I mean, how many times did Pop bench Tim Duncan? I mean, he'd do that hockey line change.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, seriously, you gotta make a point at some point in time.
And let's go. I mean, when you're looking at emotion and coaching, and again, personality is what it is. Steve Kerr is one of the nicest guys on the planet. That dude will go ballistic in a hurry.
Yes, he will.
And there are times where I just feel like as a fan, I need to see that. I imagine the players need to see that. But I also understand that coaches have a better idea than we do of what motivates their guys. And in coaching in 2026, is going to be a little bit harder than it was in 1996 or even 2006. You don't see coaches, the drill sergeant pop stuff like you used to. But at some point, you've got to do more than just sit there with your arms crossed and watch. That's what I saw too much of that last night.
Last night, how about every game that's been played?
Well, while the lead is getting blown, I mean, again, guy's personality is what it is. But he's not going to throw his team under the bus. Where it's January, it would almost be clockwork. The Tuesday night in Milwaukee. In December, January, Pop's going to call his team soft, and Pop's going to say something, and
that worked out pretty well, didn't it?
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
5 championships. I think that worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Instead, Mitch Johnson is just going to describe what they did to Wemby defensively.
Yeah, I think, Houston's played this brand of defense since we've had Victor, so I don't think it's anything new. It's hard to play against. I think our whole team across the board at times, we got rushed, we got pushed off our spots. And so when that happens, whether you're rushed or pushed off your spot, timing a play, sequencing, rhythm, whether that's on an ISO, face up, as you alluded to, or how the play is supposed to be executed, we were just off all half, whether we were in the wrong spots or just the timing of the play didn't get executed correctly. And then they got some good one-on-one defenders, and now you're playing against those guys a lot of times against the clock. And then when that happens, you get rushed up again at times. And we saw that not just with Victor, but the whole team, I thought, in the second half.
So what does all that mean, Mitch? Okay, the timing wasn't there. We're getting pushed off our spots.
That's soft.
Okay.
Is that him calling them soft?
Well, I don't know. Being out physical, sure. And I guarantee you, whether this team is made for it, a lot of people, wanting to know when the Spurs have ever been physical, and there was a time, but basketball has changed. But at some point in time, that that's the case. All right? And I don't know how you make your team be more physical. Being pushed off your spot, I wouldn't want to admit that.
Well, and again, I hate calling anybody soft. Pro athlete, I don't ever want to question a pro athlete's toughness. But there are teams that are going to be more physical, which means you have to have a blend of those physical players with your finesse players.
You think it's physical now? Wait till the playoffs start.
Exactly. Because, again, while not calling his team soft like Pop would have, Mitch Johnson did say Houston's toughness hurt the Spurs.
He got loose, as you said. He made some shots, and, we got caught ball watching a couple times. He was off the ball, and he made a couple tough ones. And, 29 points is a little high, 22 points. Okay, there were just toughness plays all across the board, and they showed themselves. I don't think it was one thing that continued to hurt us other than just some toughness, mental, physical, all across the board in a lot of different ways that got to us, and it snowballed, and they rode the momentum, and they finished the job, and we gave a lot away and participated in that, but give Houston a lot of credit.
The Spurs at this point in time, and again, we're fortunate where they're at. They're still exceeding expectations, and I don't want to lose sight of that. But if this team is not making three-point buckets, they're going to lose. That just seems to be the formula. They're going to live and die by the three-point shot, and last night they could not hit anything in that fourth quarter. Not even Julian Champagnie, who was pretty good for the first 3 quarters, hit and led the way scoring-wise. But you got to figure out a different way, and you got to have a plan B, do you not, if those shots are not falling, especially if you're protecting a 16-point lead.
One of the comments on YouTube from Thurman, Spurs have exceeded expectations. Relax, guys. I have a problem with that. And again, I think every Spur fan is trying to figure out their level right now with this team because they have sucked for so long, and they're finally good again. Well, how good? Have they exceeded expectations? You're damn right they have. But with that, my expectations for the season have changed. I expect them to win games like that on the road against Houston when they have a 16-point lead. My expectations have changed. At the beginning of the year, postseason was the expectation. The debate, if you remember, in September and August was playoff team, top 6, or play in and maybe work their way into getting into the first round. Now, second round is a realistic expectation for this team. And with that, you don't blow a 16-point lead. And it's not just like last night was an isolated issue, like it was an off game. You look at a couple of nights ago, they blew that big lead against Minnesota. They ended up winning that game, but they had a big lead evaporate. Go back a couple games, they had a huge lead against Minnesota, and they lost.
Yep.
I mean, they have consistently built double-digit leads this year and watched them evaporate. That is a problem, and that starts to me with coaching, because how they blow those leads always seem the same. They start to get a little tight. They jack up threes, and your coach doesn't call a timeout or run set plays that utilize shot clock and go for higher percentage buckets.
I don't know the answer to this, but I wish I did. How many timeouts did Mitch leave in his pocket at the end of that game? I don't know, but it seemed to me watching the game in that fourth quarter that there was not a lot of stoppage of play because of timeouts called. And I could be wrong, and I'm talking without checking it, but I agree with you. You got to call timeouts. If they're on a run, that's how you typically stop runs, or that's what I've seen in basketball my whole life. You stop that. You change the momentum, or you try to do that, and there was none of that last night. And the Spurs had no answer for Reed Sheppard. Reed Sheppard is a good player, don't get me wrong, but that kid was running all over the floor, being aggressive, getting into the paint, and scoring easy buckets on a Spurs team that, quite frankly, didn't really have much of a chance at that point in time, because a rebound from a missed three-point shot typically is about half court.
Well, in fourth quarter, the Spurs were 0 of 13 from three-point range in the fourth quarter alone, 7 of 28 from the field. At what point do you just run something to get a bucket, to, some sort of high percentage shot, watch it go through? It's like a quarterback, man. Let me just throw an easy pass, get you that completion, try to get you into rhythm. It's the same thing, and they didn't do it. That fourth quarter was a disaster.
It really was, and it was hard to watch last night.
14 whole points.
Well, and I'm watching the fourth quarter, Jason. I'm thinking, well, maybe they pull this thing out anyway. But obviously they didn't, and that's what happens. We'll talk more Spurs basketball at some point during the show. But when we come back, a lot of news from the NFL, plenty of news from the NFL, and we're going to dive into it when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, before we go away, I know it's going to be cold this weekend, but I want to just tell you about the Golf Club of Texas, because while you may not want to play golf this weekend, guess what? You certainly watch some football. You can certainly get out to the Tin Cup Bar and Grill and have a great meal with your friends, your family, and all of that kind of stuff. It is a great place to go. And look, I'm telling you this because if you haven't been out to the Golf Club of Texas lately, you really haven't been out there. The place is fantastic. They have improved that facility, the restaurant, the golf course, all of it, just 100%. It is just a great place to go. And get on out there. You can watch football on Sunday. Perfect place to head out with your friends, with your family, with a little of both. Get out there, eat some great food at the Tin Cup Bar and Grill, drink some great cocktails, some great beer. All of it is fantastic out at the Golf Club of Texas. Look, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you want to go out for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, how about your next tournament? You need to go check them out because best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus comes out swinging. Highlight machine Justin Gaethje collides with Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in a must-see high-octane main event. Plus, Sean Sugar O'Malley faces off against Song Yadong in a stand-up war filled with high-level striking. Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Stream UFC 324 live on January 24th, only on Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. It's Pork Rind Appreciation Day at PorkRinds.com. Hall of Famer Devin Hester and PorkRinds.com are lining up to be the heroes for the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund. Pork Rinds are the MVP of the snack aisle. Low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Visit PorkRinds.com to enter for a chance to win a 2027 Big Game Travel Package and a year's supply of rinds. Support a great cause and find your favorite rinds at PorkRinds.com. Pork Rind Appreciation Day, the crunchiest day in football.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your dog goes wild at the doorbell, it's time for a new game plan. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is coaching up new pups and current MVPs with professional training sessions. Call them today at 210-750-1298. That's 210-750-1298. Call them today. Did I tell you what I saw today when I came to work, Jason?
Huh?
I drove up in the parking lot here at the radio station. And I see this dude standing on the hood, on the top of his truck, and it's Apple Pest Control. And he's up there and he's sawing something in a tree. And yeah, and so I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? And I'm looking as I drive through, and I park, and I see him doing that, and I gotta watch this and see what he's doing. There was like a larger than a basketball size nest, like a hive. Now, and so this guy finally gets it where it kind of falls a little bit, but it doesn't hit the ground. I'm going, well, hell, I'm not getting out of my car. There's a bunch of hornets in there or something.
Wuss.
And so the guy finally gets down off his truck, and he motions over to me. He goes, like, get inside the building. And I'm like, yes, sir, I ain't going to argue with you. But before I did, I went up and talked to him. I said, dude, that thing's huge. And he said, yeah, what do you call it? Mexican honey wasps.
Well,
is the way he
Mexican honey wasp.
That's how he said that they were. This thing was huge, and he said he was describing it how they do. They got all these chambers, and they do this, and he said it's really fascinating. And I said, well, what are you trying to do? Just drop it and break it, or do you spray insecticide on it now and kill them? He goes, no, I'm trying to keep it intact. He said the honey is fantastic.
Really?
That's what he said. Now, I didn't wait outside to see if he was successful or not, but I've never noticed that nest, but it's probably been there for a long time.
Oh, you've noticed it, Pledge?
Really?
I'm the one who started bringing it to people's attention around the building.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you're that guy, huh?
I am.
All right, now, what made you?
I don't know. I was walking out to my car, saw something what looked like a basketball up there, and then I inspected closer. I was like,
inspected closer. Did you climb up the tree?
No, I just got under it. I was like, oh no, that's like either a wasp nest or a swallow's nest or something that it looked like if it fell, it would fall through a car. It was that big.
Yeah, it's big. It's bigger than a basketball, I would say.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've been walking under that thing for a while?
We have.
Oh, yeah.
With these
under
deadly creatures above us?
Yeah, so this dude had on the whole beekeeper outfit.
Wait. Hold on. So you got the dude in a beekeeper outfit.
Yeah.
You watch him get the nest low enough. And then you're out there having a conversation with them. With these pissed off bees, while he's protected and you're just out there.
Well, there were no bees flying around. I guess they were okay. They're like, we don't know what the hell's happening.
Earthquake. Why is the earth moving?
So, but the bees, I didn't see any bees. So I'm talking to this guy, and he's got the full the mask thing, in the hat, and he was covered.
Yeah.
All right. So he's not going to get stung, I guess. But he says, yeah, my son and I did one like 2 weeks ago, and the honey was fantastic. So he was trying to keep this thing intact. So
wait a minute.
I guess you could have the honey.
So from the company standpoint, we pay a dude to come out here and remove this, and then he gets all the free honey?
Apparently so.
I mean,
who knew that there were wasps that had made honey? I knew bees did, but I didn't know wasps did. But he specifically said they were Mexican honey wasps. And it's the second big basketball thing that he's taken out of a tree in the last 2 weeks.
What does he do with all this excess honey?
Dude, I have no idea what he did. I didn't have that conversation. When the man told me to go inside the building, I did what he said.
Well, because he thought you were going to ask for the honey.
Maybe that's
And can I get a jar of that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge honey guy, but I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Especially if it's natural like that. That'd be kind of cool. But I had never heard of a Mexican honey wasp.
Well, all right.
You think this guy was just BSing me?
No, but you're saying you've never heard of a specific wasp breed, brand, whatever you call it. It's like birds. I mean, how many, bird could you actually recognize? Cardinal, blue jay, eagle, but, there's a gazillion birds out there, too, that you wouldn't know the difference. It's like a wasp or a mud dauber. That one going to hurt or not hurt?
Well, exactly. And I don't
necessarily know what I don't really give a damn what they are. As long as they're not those deadly ones that were here for a while. As long as they're dead or they're not stinging me. That's all I care about.
Well, that's all I care about too. Now, I Googled this thing and it says there's an article here. Keith's Bee Services. It's got an article on here saying the Mexican honey wasp, a new threat in Central Texas. Now, this was back in September This was back in September of 2024. Who knew?
That wasn't that long ago.
We better go get some toilet paper.
So
the wasps are taking over.
We've been attacked here at the station, but we called in the enforcement. Now, there's a picture Pledge found of some dude with one of the hives that's bigger than this dude's torso.
Dude, that's huge. Now, here's a picture more like what was in our tree right here. And I'm showing you this, Minix, and I know nobody else can see this, but that's about what it looked like in that tree
the
outside.
Headline there says the danger. What's the danger of having these things if they produce such great honey?
Well, it says...
are they killer bees?
They're vulnerable to the elements, the nests are, because they're paper-like, according to this article.
So we could have saved money and just let them all freeze to death this weekend.
Winds and rains from seasonal storms can increase the weight of the nests. tree limbs themselves start to dry out and become brittle. They'll fall down. Can you imagine walking into the station, that thing falls on your head?
In your hair?
Well,
they'd have a new home.
Well, they would. It'd be fine. You'd be in trouble.
I would be. I'm just surprised that Pledge didn't pull out a golf club and try to whack at it like it.
Well, no, it was up there. It was way the hell up.
Pledge would have climbed the tree. See, if I'd have known this, we would have dared him to do something, and then he would have done it.
Well, that's very true. But I didn't even know those were a thing. So now it says if you discover one of these in your tree at your house or place of business, you should avoid disturbing it.
Can I just spray it with wasp spray?
They can be very aggressive when they feel threatened. And
so a guy in an outfit didn't scare you?
Well,
they might have been in.
No, it did. That's why I stayed in my car. I didn't get out of my car. I'm watching this guy.
Yeah, but then you have this long conversation with them. He's protected. You're not. They could have been plotting their attack. All right. He's not paying attention now. Let's go. And
well, they
could have all swarmed out and attacked you.
They could have been, but
they
didn't.
You dodged a bullet today.
Well, I think I'm pretty damn brave, actually, going out there and, hey, Mr. Wasp, man.
Yeah, you waited in your car until the guy waved you and then told you to get the hell inside, and you did.
He told me to
you
go
want
inside.
to tell me how brave you are again?
Not before I had a conversation with this guy. You wouldn't have known about the Mexican honey wasp. You're welcome. Now you know.
I'm better off not knowing.
No, you're not, because if you find that in a tree at your house, don't touch it, Minix. And don't spray Raid at it, because that ain't going to do it.
I don't know if you've met me before, but I don't think you have to worry about me touching it. You know, the pest guy that comes every couple of months, he'd have found it. He would have taken care of it.
Now, this dude...
I'm more curious what's going on with this honey.
Well, he apparently it's very good. And they're the only wasp, according to this article, that produces honey. So it is bees, most likely.
So
bees.
Are they real wasp, or are they more bee family? Is
no,
they're some sort of hybrid thing they created at Texas A&M?
No, they look like a wasp. I mean,
well, look like a wasp, but are they?
That
a
looks
wasp?
like a wasp.
Yeah, well, sure, but does it sting you?
It's got a stinger.
Does it sting you? It's
I have
kind
no
of like
idea.
the mud daubers don't sting you.
I have never been stung by a Mexican honey wasp
that you know of.
Pretty sure.
When was the last time you got stung by a wasp?
Probably. I don't know, when I was a kid.
May have been a Mexican honey wasp. You don't know.
Well, it could have been. I don't think it was, but it could have been. I'm just saying, it was very...
well, I'm glad you had a day.
I had a day. I mean, you learn something new every day. It's incredible.
So the question is, did he get them all?
Dude, I don't know. I went in. I guess when we walk outside after work today, we're going to find out.
Well, and again, I don't know how this works, but... He took the nest away, but some of them flew away. Do they build another one where they are? You know how like I had that issue on my front porch because the birds tried to build a nest and I got them to leave, but they come back the next year and they try to, if they've got a spot, they're going to come back year after year after year. Will these wasps come back and try to build another beehive in the tree?
Well, dude, I don't know what he did with the wasp, but if I'm those wasps, I bet it took years to build that nest. I'm pissed off.
Maybe we should put some fake plastic owls up there, scare them off.
That works for birds. I don't know if it works for wasps.
I'm just saying, I don't know how long it took them to build that nest. It was huge.
Probably a couple of days.
No, dude, this was not your average wasp nest.
You don't realize, man, these things can create stuff out of nothing in a hurry.
This is like something Winnie the Pooh would have got into.
I mean, they all day, every day, they got thousands working on this. It's fine.
Tell them I need them to finish 35 then.
Exactly.
Dude, if we could hire wasps and ants to do all the construction, we'd be in pretty good shape.
I just found it was fascinating to me. Just watching it. I mean, I didn't have that on my bingo card driving into work today. Seeing a dude up, and this guy was up on the roof of his truck with one of those big pole saws.
You know, it's weird. When I pulled in, I saw the Apple Pest Control guy here.
Yeah.
He was just in his truck. I didn't see what he was doing.
He was planning his
I
strategy.
thought he was just doing his normal maintenance here at the station.
He was planning his strategy, and just saying, I think I'd say it was kind of cool, and just talking to him about it. Who knew that was a thing? I mean, it's just crazy. I didn't know.
You learn something new every day.
Dude, I'm telling you, and isn't that what the beauty of life, Minix? You got to learn something new every day.
Is he claiming to be an expert at this?
He said he's dealt with them before.
Uh-oh.
Eric, expert. What are they?
Mexican honey wasps.
Yeah. Do you put that on your business card, Eric?
No, sir, not at all. Not at all. How you doing?
Good.
We're good. We're good.
Man, I was living in San Antonio for 38 years. I'm back in Houston, unfortunately, but you're my station. I'm in Houston to you. But, man, when I was in Houston about 2012, in my tree off of Silver Branch over near Hebner, I had a basketball-sized nest of honeybees. I called one station in San Antonio. They wouldn't come out. I called Ken's. The guy came out in the morning. He checked it out. He said, we'll be back at 6 o'clock, and we'll put it on the news. They came back at 6, and the guys came out in the dark, and they knocked down the tree. They got stung a few times.
Oh, wow.
But they said they wanted that nest, and they took it, Joe. They took it.
All right.
Wow.
Eric, do you remember who the reporter was that showed up to do the live shot at your house at 6 p.m.?
I was hoping you didn't ask me that. No, it was a young guy, kind of slim. Well, all of y'all slim. You just look a little thicker on TV. But it was a kind of slim guy. But a slim gentleman. But, yeah, real friendly. Him and the cameraman came out in the a.m. They said, we'll be back in the p.m., and they came out. So that's when Ken's became my station, though I was for the other station. But this one, y'all did you did your homework
Eric,
on it, so I really appreciate it.
What possessed you to call the news and not an exterminator?
Well, I should have called a friend of mine because he lives in Floresville, and he's a beekeeper. And he saw it. He was at work that day, and a lady told him, look at this. And so they saw it, and she told him, and he called me right after it went off the air and said, why did you call me? Because he's been harvesting bees for 10 years. And he said, man, I could have came and got him. So I should have, if I would have called a beekeeper, it would have been him. But I was just trying to put it on the news, man.
Yeah, you just wanted your 15 minutes of fame.
Nothing wrong with that.
Basketball-sized bees.
There you go.
Yep.
That was it. That was it.
Eric, thank you for listening in Houston, my friend. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Every day, man. Y'all be safe.
Appreciate
thank you so much.
Thanks, Eric.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Eric in Houston listening here to the Blitz. That is awesome. Well, anyway, that was my adventure for the day. So you're welcome.
Yeah, and Alexander says we went from toilet paper to Mexican honey wasps. It's true, although, you were saying all the people that were complaining about HEB, Adam from KSAT texted earlier when we were talking about toilet paper. He was walking into Costco. We have an update. Toilet paper's fine. They got plenty.
Plenty at
Water
Costco.
Is going quick, though.
Water. Well, I'm glad people are coming to their senses. Water, that's kind of important. Hell of a lot more important than toilet paper.
That's debatable.
No, it's not debatable.
You can get both. I can get water from a faucet.
Now, if you're a lady and you're drinking a lot of water, you need toilet paper.
Exactly. It's a conspiracy, isn't it?
It is, man. It is a conspiracy. Oh, my goodness. We were going to talk some NFL, but the Mexican honey wasps got in the way. It's not a good name for a football team, the Honey Wasps.
Is that going to be your new fantasy football team name?
It might be.
Uh-huh.
It damn sure might be. Well, we'll ponder that
Honey
when we
Wasp.
continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, man, if you get yourself arrested, because, nobody ever plans on it, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
NFL Network's Tom Pelissar reporting the Steelers plan to interview former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy for the team's head coaching vacancy. Now, McCarthy had an interview with the Titans, who, of course, filled their head coaching vacancy with Robert Saleh. Well, the Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel, their former head coach, has turned down other head coaching opportunities. He is now the Chargers' offensive coordinator.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, and my goodness, if you get off work at 5 o'clock, congratulations, you made it. You're over the hump, and you're about to slide right into the weekend. Happy that you're spending a little time with us first, though.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You're on the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Joe. He's Jason.
The Cowboys still don't have a defensive coordinator. A lot of interviews lined up. And I like the way the Cowboys are approaching this. But at some point, man, some urgency. And, a lot of debate. Now, anybody out there besides a Bronco fan think Denver has a chance this weekend?
I think they have a chance, yeah. I do. You're not giving Jared Stidham any respect at all, Minix.
So by Monday, they'll be able to interview this Jim Leonard guy, right?
Perhaps.
And everybody else will. Because, again, unless you're a Bronco fan, you expect New England to show up, go through the motions, and make their plans for San Francisco, right?
You would think so, yes. But you never say never.
Well, and again, crazy stuff has happened. But so do you? If you're the Cowboys, are you thinking, all right, we'll give this Leonard guy until Sunday afternoon? If they win, does that change your thinking, or do you wait to see what happens after the Super Bowl? If that's the guy that you want, how long are you willing to wait for him to become available? I do believe
he's available during the week between.
Yeah, and I guess he can make a decision, and you would know that. But all these other candidates that you're interviewing, they also have decisions that they have to make. And you're starting to see some of the hirings, with McDaniel now becoming the offensive coordinator in Los Angeles with Harbaugh. So Cleveland is still open. So if you were kind of trying to figure out, well, if McDaniel became a head coach again, who likely would be his defensive coordinator? Well, now you don't have that
worry.
Yeah. Well, except for whoever gets that job or the people that you're talking to. How many other interviews are they doing? At some point when a guy gets offered a job, he's got to make a decision. And again, I love the thoroughness that the Cowboys appear to be doing, but I don't want them to lose out by being too thorough.
Well,
right? I don't want their second or their third choice.
Right. Well, think about it. I mean, you got John Harbaugh needs a defensive coordinator. Doesn't have one. Robert Saleh, Tennessee, needs a defensive coordinator. Even though he's probably going to handle most of the defensive calls, he's still going to have a defensive coordinator. There's two jobs right there. And all the other, Miami, the guy that got hired in Miami, the Packers DC, he's going to need a defensive coordinator. I mean, look, these guys are going to start coming off the board. And while I'm happy the Cowboys are taking their time and interviewing a lot of people, eventually the candidates are going to come off the board.
And the question for the Cowboys is fighting history. Now, they're doing this search differently than they've done some of the previous searches, especially in recent years. But one thing that we know is Jerry typically likes his coordinator to be a former head coach, although he says that's not a requirement. And he typically doesn't want to pay that person a large salary or give them a long contract. But Joseph Hoyt in the Dallas Morning News, a great article on what they're hoping happens. And, the couple of names in here, all the ones that we've been talking about. But statistically, with some of what the people that they are interviewing is what they're hoping is happening in Seattle. That could be the blueprint that the Cowboys are following, since you're looking at guys that haven't been defensive coordinators before, but the flexibility. Now, while Mike McDonald was a defensive coordinator with the Ravens before he got the head coaching job in Seattle, he was one of those, up-and-coming guys that you knew was going to be good. And how quickly he has turned things around in Seattle from a defensive standpoint. And what Joseph Hoyt writes is pretty impressive. And I didn't realize the numbers until you read them. But in 2023, the Seahawks had the 30th ranked defense. In 2024, his first year, they jumped to 10th. This year, in terms of EPA, they ended the regular season with the top-ranked defense. And there wasn't a massive overhaul. 7 of the 11 starters in 2023 are still there. And it's what Mike McDonald said. It's all about taking your best players and calling stuff that works for them. And we've heard that from the Joneses. They love some of the pieces they have. Trust me, this draft better be very heavy defense. But they've got some foundational pieces that they want to build around. And it does feel like they're finding a coordinator who might have a philosophy and might have, quote-unquote, a system, but they want somebody that's going to come in and be flexible.
Yeah, and Matt Eberflus was not that guy. He was not flexible. That was the complaint we heard from all of them. Look, again, I think what impresses me the most about what the Cowboys are doing is the fact that they've got, number one, a long list. Number two, a lot of up-and-comers, young coaches that have worked in the NFL for a little while at other positions, going to get their first shot at a defensive coordinator position, unless it's Jonathan Gannon, which is the only really experienced guy I think they've interviewed up to this point in time when it comes to being a DC. He wouldn't be the worst hire, I don't think, but I would love to see them hire one of these up-and-coming guys because just from what we've seen with the Ben Johnsons, the Leon Combs, these guys that are even the Mike McDaniel, for goodness sake, these guys, got some fresh ideas, and they're younger. They can relate to the players a little bit better, and so I like where the Cowboys are going with this. It's just, again, I think it's got to be the right hire because you can talk all you want. You got your quarterback, but his window's closing, and I doubt very seriously, and I could be wrong. It's Jerry, and he loves Dak. That Dak gets another contract in Dallas. Maybe he does. We can debate that when the time comes.
I don't think so.
But so his window is closing. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
And the only issue with that team this past season was the defense.
I mean, they've got some things they've got to figure out offensively, but kind of complete opposite in Houston. They did have a Super Bowl caliber offense this year. Say what you want about Dak in the playoffs and all those jokes, and I get it. But offensively, they were explosive. Yeah, they had some games where they were duds. But for the most part, that was one hell of an offense. And if they had an average defense, they could have been a playoff team this year. Same with Houston. Great defense, Super Bowl caliber. If they would have gotten average quarterback play in the postseason, they'd be playing in an AFC championship game Sunday against Jarrett Stidham, which means we'd be talking about Houston making reservations in San Francisco. So when you look at this hire, and I'm glad they're taking their time and interviewing a ton of different people, but it seems like all of them fit this mold of what they've done in Seattle with somebody that can take what you have and maximize them. Now, 7 of 11, they added a Tank Lawrence from the Cowboys. That was a good hire or a good pickup for them.
He played well this year.
But the other 3 guys that they added, nobody was breaking the bank. It wasn't this major free agency like, holy crap, that guy's going to Seattle. It was none of that, which, again, feels very much like what the Cowboys like to do. They want somebody that can take what they have and make it better. And then, and granted, it's mock draft season time.
Absolutely.
Mel Kiper's got one out today.
His first of many.
Yeah, got the Cowboys taking 2 defensive players at 12 and 20, which is music to every Cowboy fan's ears.
Yes. I think a linebacker and a corner, if I'm not mistaken, is how his deal went down. So, which are 2 spots that they need. So, I don't know. I like what they're doing. I'm impressed with what they're doing. I just think that, there is a little bit of a sense of urgency in my mind just to get it right, number one, but to get that guy before he goes off to Tennessee or Miami or wherever, get it done. Get the guy you want, that's for sure.
For the record, Mel Kiper, in his first mock draft, Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles at number 12, and the Miami defensive end at the 20th pick, Messidor.
Wow, do you think he'll be there at 20? I don't know if he'll be there at 20.
Mel Kiper thinks so.
Well, he could be, and if that's the case, that's fantastic.
And Pledge wants us to tell you that he's got the Texans taking an offensive lineman.
Well, I hope so, Pledge. It's kind of a no-brainer. They need that.
And mock draft number 1 is always Captain Obvious, isn't it?
He's got to do that, no
Biggest
doubt about
need,
it.
take that guy.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, more NFL talk. We'll talk a little Houston Texans, believe it or not. Nick Caserio, their general
More
manager.
than we just did?
Did we? I guess we did.
Offensive lineman.
Little Cowboy. Yeah, I know. Well, it's in our contract. We have to do it every now and then, I guess.
More B talk coming up.
That's interesting. When we come back, I know we're going to do this. We're going to give some tickets away to go see Parker McCullum at the Frost Bank Center, and that would be January 31st. We've got your tickets, and, of course, if you don't win them, you can buy them online at livenation.com. Parker McCullum tickets, we'll give those away next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You've seen the forecast. We all know it's going to be nasty this weekend. We expect a hard freeze. Everybody's telling you right now, get outside today and wrap your pipes. Make sure you're ready for this cold weather. Should you have a pipe burst, you call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. If your heater isn't working properly, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. Write this number down. Put it in your phone. Write it in a Sharpie on your hand, because they are experts at worst-case scenarios. And this weekend, there's going to be some people that are dealing with worst-case scenario. Their service trucks are fully stocked. They have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission sales reps. They will provide estimates and second opinions, but this weekend, emergency situation, they're standing by and they're ready to go. Residential or commercial, they're going to get you taken care of. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899. You definitely want to keep that number handy just in case this weekend. Their website, quartermoonplumbing.com.
If your dog goes wild at the doorbell, it's time for a new game plan. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is coaching up new pups and current MVPs with professional training sessions. Call them today at 210-750-1298. That's 210-750-1298. Call them today.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hello, this is Jason Thompson, and as you know, I've been practicing law here in San Antonio for more than 30 years, helping people and families injured in traffic collisions. So I'm often asked, what is the worst thing you can do after a traffic collision? And the answer is easy. That's trying to handle it on your own without an attorney. Insurance companies have spent billions perfecting their strategy of paying nothing or as little as they can get away with. It wouldn't be David versus Goliath. It would be David versus a million Goliaths. You have no chance. Using AI for help is even worse because AI routinely gives dangerously inaccurate legal advice. It is laughably bad on the law. So bad that a lawyer filing a document drafted by AI will likely be disbarred in Texas. Keep it simple. Just call me. My name is Jason Thompson. I'll give you a free review of your case with no obligation to hire me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com. That's alawyerforus.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 321-321. That's METER to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson, Star.
The one and only Parker McCollum, bringing you back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and he's going to be in town January 31st inside the Frost Bank Center, and we have got a pair of tickets to give you right now. Of course, if you don't win them, you can always buy them at livenation.com.
It's going to be a great date night.
Yes.
Going to see Parker McCollum, maybe a little early Valentine's gift. Would you say that show is on the
January 31st?
So 10 days from right now.
Yeah,
We'll give them caller number 10. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
Good luck. And we'll be giving away more tickets. I know they're giving away on the morning show as well. So if you don't win today, you still got more chances throughout the week to win those tickets to go see Parker McCollum.
Noted Houston Texans fan.
Is that right?
Parker McCollum.
Wow.
Absolutely.
What's the matter with that guy?
And he's probably pissed off at C.J. Stroud, just like everybody else, including general manager Nick Caserio, who had a press conference today. And now the dude got questioned pretty hard by the dude from the Houston Chronicle about the roster not being quite good enough to win a Super Bowl. And Nick Caserio actually throws his quarterback under the bus.
I mean, I'm not really sure the question. I'd say we had one of the best teams in the league. So, I mean, we went out there and competed with every team in the league that we played. So, I mean, I'm not sure like what the question is.
I can specify. You know, the offense, according to their statistics, didn't take a huge jump offensively. And I'm wondering.
The most important statistic is winning games. So that's what we're focused on.
100%. But you lost in the divisional round again. You ultimately want to get farther. Do you feel like you could have done more to get to that point, or were there circumstances that you felt were out of control?
We had a good enough team to win any game we played. In the end, we didn't execute well enough. You can't turn the ball over 5 times in a divisional playoff round. I mean, taking care of the football is the single most important stat correlated to winning. I mean, look it up. That's the truth. If you don't turn the ball over, you enhance your chances of winning. It's 85, 90%. I mean, so that's the most important stat. Turnovers, taking care of the football, like look around the league. So in the end, we had a good enough team to beat anybody. We played with every team in the league. There's more room in front of us. And in the end, if we execute better, we'll still be playing. I mean, I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but that's the truth.
That's absolutely the truth. I mean, how else you sugarcoat it? The reporter there, I believe from the Houston Chronicle, was trying to say, hey, did you not do enough to build this roster? And I can't put that on Nick Caserio. I think he did. Injuries took their toll, but still the Texans, with that defense, as well as it played, they beat Pittsburgh, who had no offense, and were against an 85-year-old quarterback. And then you play New England. You gifted them a touchdown, CJ, with I don't know what you were thinking, interception, and you had a chance to beat them still.
That defense was so damn good. And I agree 100% with everything that Nick Caserio said. He is spot on, and he is accurate. I am just surprised that Nick Caserio said it in the way in which he said it. Generally speaking, Nick Caserio is not going to basically put it on a singular player. And in this case, it was on C.J. Stroud because of all the interceptions. You know, they did have the one fumble in there, but it's not like there were 5 different guys that turned the ball over. It was one guy who was awful in the postseason, set a record for turnovers in the postseason.
Unbelievable.
And again, Nick Caserio generally doesn't say that. It was right. It was accurate. It's just surprising to hear that from the general manager.
Well, Casario's taking up for himself.
Yeah, well,
it's
that's
like,
it.
hey, dude, don't blame me. I did my job. Our quarterback didn't do his, and that's the problem. And I just wonder, so if Caserio, and maybe it's not Caserio, maybe it's D'Amico Ryans, has talked to C.J. Stroud. And I hope in a D'Amico-like way, because I can see D'Amico being a fatherly kind of guy to a guy like C.J. Stroud, and sitting him down and say, look, son, you got to play better than this, and I don't know what was going on, but, some of the decisions you made were just awful. What happened? I can see this conversation going on. But now Nick Caserio, D'Amico Ryans, and the rest of the brain trust there with Houston have to decide what they're going to do with C.J. Stroud. Pick up his 5th-year option, which is what, about $30 million in that neighborhood, something like that?
Yeah.
Or do you cut him loose? You certainly don't.
No,
extend him right now at this point in time.
Unless that's been part of your plan. Now, to defend CJ a little bit, because Nick Caserio did talk about the entire execution offensively. They had that touchdown called back in that weird formation, and was it a defensive lineman in there, and he moved early, right? You can't blame C.J. Stroud for that. Apparently, we already have the winner. Was that on the air, Pledge? Is your mic on, or is it just really loud today? But when you look at it, if that touchdown counts, if they're able to get that touchdown, how different is that game? I can't blame that on C.J. Stroud. That was on somebody else. So it wasn't just C.J. that failed to execute, but he didn't take care of the football. And Nick Caserio's right. You can't turn the ball over and win in the postseason. Everybody that lost this weekend lost the turnover battle.
You can't have 5 turnovers from your quarterback. I mean, I don't care who that is. 5 turnovers from your quarterback. What do you have, 4 against the Steelers? Was it 9 for the last 2 games that CJ is responsible for himself? And Daniel on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page says we don't talk many segments about the Texans, but when we do, we crap all over them.
You said you wanted the Cowboys treatment. Here you go.
Yeah, we're just. I mean, do you not feel that way? So how should we sugarcoat it, Daniel? And I want to know. Oh, CJ, he's learning. He's going to be much, much better, and he'll do better next year. They ought to just give him the bag. $250 million, Daniel. That's how he's a nice young man. Just pay the young man because there was just something going on in his head, and he just wasn't thinking right. And I don't know, but it wasn't his fault. A gnat got in his eye.
I just love we talked all year about a Super Bowl caliber defense, and could Houston actually get there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but say anything bad about them.
Well, it's ridiculous.
It's the little brother mentality.
Well, it is.
I mean, you're finally talking about us, and it's the bad stuff. We talked good all year,
dude.
With that defense,
we should be talking about the Texans heading to Denver
and
this
then on
weekend.
Their way to San Francisco.
Yes, and so instead of that, C.J. Stroud turns the ball over 5 times, and you lose to the New England Patriots.
But I'll tell you what, Daniel, because I know you love your Houston Texans and everything about them. They do nothing wrong, so you must be thrilled that Nick Caserio said, "Yeah, we're bringing Nick Caley back."
Yeah, I would anticipate Nick being here next year. I think Nick learned a lot. First opportunity as a play caller. I'd say offensively, probably the last 2 to 3 months of the year, played pretty good football and did a lot of good things. So there was growth and improvement. There's always areas that we can improve and get better, and that's what D'Amico mentioned the other day. This next couple weeks right after the season was kind of looking at everything, go through the coaching staff, go through other aspects of the staff. Is there anything that we have to do? All right, then we'll look at some things schematically, start to go through the self-scout, try to figure out, all right, what are some of the things that we did well? It's interesting. D'Amico started this when he got here. So the other side of the ball basically goes through and watches their respective sides. So like the defensive coaches will basically go through and watch the entire offensive season. Offensive coaches will watch the defense. And it's basically just for observations. Hey, through that lens, what do you see? Hey, what are some of the things that we did well? What are some of the things that cause problems? What are some of the things, this, maybe a little bit less of this, whether it's schematically, whether it's personnel-wise. And there's good communication. I think it's a great exercise. We didn't do anything like that in New England, but I think there's some teams that do that. So what we're trying to do is say, hey, we know kind of where we are as a team, and I think sometimes when you're working on one side of the ball, you maybe see it through one lens. Sometimes when you're on the opposite side of the ball, you see it through a different lens. And I'd say the rapport amongst the staff's really good, so we can communicate honestly and openly with each other. So it says a lot, and honestly, it speaks to who D'Amico is. So that's what we're going through right now. So, I would anticipate Nick being here, next year, and all of us are just trying to improve and do what we can to make the team and the organization better.
Well, we'll see what they do. And again, I just think that the big decision right now is, and maybe it's not a decision, maybe the Texans feel very good about C.J. Stroud and what they're going to do with him. That's very possible. We'll find that out shortly, certainly within the next few months. But they're going to get healthy on offense. Nico Collins is back. Tank Dell's going to be back. I don't know about Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon has been on a milk carton for a while, and nobody knows why.
Well, and Nick really didn't say, but he did talk about the Mixon and Dell injuries to start his presser.
Just a couple injury things, just because I'm sure I'll be asked about him, and I think D'Amico got asked about it yesterday. So as it pertains to Joe, here's what I would say. It was a very unique situation. I don't think anybody really had any clarity, honestly, from the start of the year until now. I'd say Joe worked very, very hard to try to get himself ready to play football. It just never manifested itself and came to fruition. So probably have an opportunity to kind of see where he is in the offseason relative to next year. But, again, it was as unique a situation and injury as I've been associated with. And it's just, I don't want to call it a freak thing, but it's just kind of a freak thing. And Joe worked really hard, put his best foot forward. It didn't work out. And then Tank, I think D'Amico got asked about him the other day. I mean, Tank's doing awesome. He's been in the building every day. I mean, matter of fact, he's here today. He's got a great attitude. We would anticipate him being ready for the start of the offseason program.
It's good news.
That is good news, without a doubt. And they could have used Joe Mixon. Let's face it. Now, I don't know if Joe Mixon will ever play football again. I have no idea what his situation is. But that could be, even though the Texans with that young rookie running back, is he the guy? I mean, do you feel certain that he is the guy that can lead the way moving forward, or do you go out and try to find somebody else?
Well, what we do know is, while we don't know what's really going on with Joe Mixon, Nick did say it wasn't anything nuts. It's not like he fell off a roof.
No, I would say he didn't do anything off the field. It wasn't like he was riding like a snowmobile or anything like that. I'd say it was just more of a medical condition or situation that just it really didn't improve maybe as much as everybody would have hoped. I mean, I'm not trying to evade the question. I think that's the reality of the situation. So he didn't jump off a building, he wasn't cliff diving or anything like that. He wasn't doing anything irresponsible. It was a freak thing. Honestly, I'd never seen it. It's just the condition.
But you're not going to tell us what it was, and that's disappointing. I'd like to know. It's kind of like the Trayvon Diggs injury, the concussion. He says it was a TV stand. I'm not sure that was the case or not. Maybe it was.
Well, there was video of it.
Him falling on his head?
Yeah. Jane Slater had that.
She did?
Yeah.
The hell was I?
Who knows?
There's
under a rock?
Actual video of the thing falling on his head. I got to find that.
He was probably sitting there and watched it that day.
I may have.
Oh, we did talk about it quite a bit.
I saw the stand. I didn't see it fall on his head.
Was there video of it actually falling or just him showing? I thought there was.
It was just him showing the TV stand. I never saw it falling on his head.
I don't know.
It never fell on his head.
Do-it-yourself project at the house.
Yeah.
Never good.
Yeah.
You do know he got cut by Green Bay, right?
I do know that,
good.
yes. And
you're a free agent.
I don't know why they picked him. I still wonder if Micah Parsons knows about this.
Yeah, he saw it on Twitter.
I don't know.
It don't be working out.
Oh, my goodness. Spurs didn't do well.
No.
Last night in Houston. They've got another game tomorrow against Utah. I'd like to say Utah is an easy win for these guys, but I'm not sure. They've already beaten the Spurs once, and Spurs struggled with them a little bit the other night inside the Frost Bank Center. We're talking Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you, though, about my Connecticut quality water softener. Man, I love talking about this thing. You know why? It is the best thing I've had in my house when it comes to water softeners. I've had a few others, and I really didn't think this would be any better than anything else I've had, but it is. It is head and shoulders better than anything else I have ever had. Connecticut is the best in the business. They've proven that time and time and time again. They've been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. All their products are made right here in the good old U.S. of A. And I love the fact that you don't plug this thing in. So obviously, it's not going to drain your electric bill at all. It runs on that kinetic energy. And I'm not sure what that is. All I know is it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They still have that free reverse osmosis drinking station just for you with your name on it. When you buy a Connecticut quality water softener, they'll give you one of those, and they'll install it right there at your kitchen sink. Means you have bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. All you have to do is turn it on, and there it is. Also, free money, 0% interest for 12 months. That is an incredible deal. Don't wait. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Celebrate the 17th annual Pork Rind Appreciation Day with PorkRinds.com and NFL legend Devin Hester. We're teaming up to support the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund, helping retired players get the medical care they deserve. Want to get in the game? Visit PorkRinds.com to play their Crunch Time Hero game and enter daily to win a trip to the 2027 big game in LA, plus a year's supply of pork rinds. Grab the perfect low-carb snack and be your own Pork Rind Appreciation Day hero today at PorkRinds.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hello, this is Jason Thompson, and as you know, I've been practicing law here in San Antonio for more than 30 years, helping people and families injured in traffic collisions. So I'm often asked, what is the worst thing you can do after a traffic collision? And the answer is easy. That's trying to handle it on your own without an attorney. Insurance companies have spent billions perfecting their strategy of paying nothing or as little as they can get away with. It wouldn't be David versus Goliath. It would be David versus a million Goliaths. You have no chance. Using AI for help is even worse because AI routinely gives dangerously inaccurate legal advice. It is laughably bad on the law. So bad that a lawyer filing a document drafted by AI will likely be disbarred in Texas. Keep it simple. Just call me. My name is Jason Thompson. I'll give you a free review of your case with no obligation to hire me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com. That's alawyerforus.com.
Start the year in dry at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. All Silverado 1500s get 1.9% financing plus an additional $1,250 trade-in rebate. Or buy a new Colorado for only $28,999. And the affordable Trax is only $346 a month with zero down. Plus, all heavy duties have 5.9% financing for 84 months. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Spurs blow a 16-point lead to the Houston Rockets in Houston last night, and well, it was just ugly. And again, I've said this in the show previously, but it's like I haven't really been upset by anything they've done because to me they've exceeded expectations. But last night watching, they couldn't hit a shot to save their lives in that fourth quarter, and there was no change. There was no urgency to try and stop the Rockets from coming back and winning that football game or basketball game.
To me, it at this point, with the number of blown leads they have had, I'm looking at coaching. Now, I know players have to learn how to win, but that's where the coach has to coach. Take a timeout. Last night in that fourth quarter, they were 7 of 28 and missed all of their three-point attempts.
Every one of them.
At what point, as a coach, do you run a play, call a play that's for a high percentage bucket? Watch the ball go through the net. And then the other part, quit jacking up a three with 18 seconds on the shot clock. Bleed the clock down, shorten the game. It was just too quick. I mean, even Wemby said, I mean, it's obvious they're rushing stuff.
There's many details, but I think the main idea and that all of us can see because it's obvious that we're rushing, in our minds on the court, sometimes overreacting. So yeah, I think it funny. The good thing is that nothing makes you learn and makes you mature like failure, or losses, defeats. So we're learning quicker. We're taking in a lot, while still being a winning team now. So it's we're gonna figure it out. We need to mature a little bit, I think.
I think he's right there. The last thing he said, we need to mature a little bit. And I think by maturing, you're going to learn that you're going to, drain that shot clock before you put up a shot. Look, if they're doing that and they're taking 22 seconds off of that clock and then throwing up a three and missing it, it changes things because you got time coming off the clock. They didn't do that last night in the fourth quarter.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Raymond, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. I think what the Spurs need is, some toughness, man. I mean, back in the days when I was a young Spurs fan, we had Mario Elie, Kevin Willis, guys that would rip you for not playing defense, for taking horrible shots. And I think the Spurs need someone like that, and I don't know if there's anybody in the NBA that's like that, but, I miss that old school basketball, I just feel like there need to be someone that needs to be vocal on the court.
Are you calling them soft, Raymond? Are you being nice and calling them soft?
I'm being nice, Jason, and I'm calling them soft. Come on, man.
It is true. Now, and I hate doing this to Mitch, but Pop would have called him soft.
He
right?
would have, absolutely, because they are. Think about the leads that they've blown, Jason.
It's incredible.
It's been because the team bullied them, the opposition.
Now, Mitch Johnson doesn't call them soft, but he does talk about their lack of toughness.
He got loose, as you said. He made some shots, and we got caught ball watching a couple times. He was off the ball, and he made a couple tough ones. And 29 points is a little high. 22 points, okay. It was just. There were just toughness plays all across the board, and they showed themselves. I don't think it was one thing that continued to hurt us other than just some toughness, mental, physical, all across the board in a lot of different ways that got to us, and it snowballed, and they rode the momentum, and they finished the job, and we gave a lot away and participated in that, but give Houston a lot of credit.
See, that's a politically correct answer.
Uh-huh.
It sure is. Yeah. We just didn't do anything right, but give Houston a lot of credit. Okay. I'm not sure exactly. Now, Mitch Johnson is Mitch Johnson, and maybe he doesn't believe in publicly throwing his team under the bus. Isn't it time maybe to do that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to trust that Mitch has the pulse of his team. And I can be angry about last night. It's January. It was almost like clockwork. December, January, Pop, after a bad loss, was going to do that because that would fire up his guys. You know, Pop was always, and all the great coaches are, very deliberate in what they say to the media, knowing that their players are going to hear it and read it. And you also have the pulse of the fan base. I mean, I thought last night Mitch should have had some popcorn and a cold beverage because what was he doing, right? And I know he's not an overly emotional coach, which is fine. But at some point, what are you drawing up? What are you calling? I mean, you're just watching at this point and watching a 16-point lead to Houston go away. It's unacceptable.
Vanish. That's what happened. It was sad to watch that fourth quarter last night.
Hey, Ronald, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Well, finishing up the dashing session. You know, this is a difference. This is a difference in coaching styles. In the early days, Greg Popovich would he sees somebody putting up a shot with 8 seconds left instead of draining the clock. That person is off the floor immediately.
Sure. Yeah.
With a seat next to Popovich and get his ear chewed off. And then sitting for the next 10 minutes.
Yep.
No disagreement with you.
To think about it.
Yeah.
There's this not happening with Mitch Johnson. I don't see the type of toughness there.
Well, I mean, toughness, and again, toughness, soft, however you, and I have a hard time calling a pro athlete soft, but there is that lack of toughness. You even Mitch said, you know, physical and mental. Well, the physicality part of it, I mean, Wemby's not soft, but he's not a physical. His body style doesn't let him have the same toughness as, say, the Joker. But then you've got to figure out when you're building the roster to have a mix of that. You know, hockey terms, where's your goon? There's got to be somebody in there, but at the same time, you quit jacking up all the threes. Although, maybe that's his answer. We can't play inside with these guys, so let's just jack up a bunch of threes and hope they go in.
50 last night, 5-0 threes shot last night by the San Antonio Spurs. 5-0. Think about that. And they only made 14 of them.
Well, and again, you're pissed off as a Spurs fan. I'm pissed off as a Spurs fan. You can hear the frustration in Wemby's voice.
Same as usual, you know. Blowing 15-plus point lead. The good thing is, like, we're all onto the problem. We're all putting our minds into it, but we're conscious it is a problem.
And he was 0 for 7 from the three-point stripe, by the way. So he didn't have a good shooting night either. Nobody did. But again, it just seems to me, and maybe I'm, I don't know, maybe I'm simplifying this too much. If what you're doing is not working and the shots aren't falling, don't you just try something different?
0-13 from 3 in the fourth quarter alone. And that's in a bunch of those. I don't know how many. I could look, but I'm not. A bunch of those misses were when they still had the lead. It's not like the lead was gone and they were trying to get it all back. I mean, they had the lead. Now, it wasn't 16 anymore.
Yeah.
But as it got to 8, as it got to 6, and they're jacking up threes. I think they had 6 straight possessions where they went down and took a quick three, missed it, didn't get the rebound, and the Rockets were going the other way. And all this on a night where Kevin Durant did not have a Kevin Durant type of night.
No.
You hold Kevin Durant in check like they did last night, you should win that basketball game.
You should, but they got a guy by the name of Reed Shepard who took over the fourth quarter for the Houston Rockets. He did, and he was – you talk about being tough and then not being afraid. Reed Shepard last night was driving the paint, not scared of anybody knocking him on his ass. Nobody, because nobody's going to.
Nope.
Wearing a San Antonio Spurs uniform.
Nope. Yeah, 12 points in the fourth quarter did Reed Shepard. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Back to the phones. Doc, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man? What's up, Doc? I couldn't let that one go.
Hey, Doc.
I was at the game last night, and Spurs put up 70 in the first half, 36 in the second half, but it wasn't their lack of toughness because Luke Cornett is banging with everybody in the paint. The camp's just not on him, but that guy is the goon on the court, and he's nailing everybody running through the paint. Second, they just could not hit a shot, and Keldon Johnson put up so many shots. I don't know his stats, but in the fourth quarter, he could not hit a shot, and it's not their lack of toughness. People ask for the Spurs to be tough. That NBA is gone. The NBA is not going to allow that game to happen anymore. They want that run and gun, freestyle shooting. The Spurs were just flying up and down the court in the first half and the second half. They just could not hit a shot. The second, Mitch Johnson is not in the huddles. It's a new NBA again, and everybody asking for Mitch to be in the huddles. When they call timeout, he's with the coaches. There's either an offensive coach or a defense coach with the guys in the huddle talking about what they're doing. We also have Rashard Lewis in the huddles talking to the guys. He doesn't get in there much. That's a whole different NBA from the past, and he did a great job. Mitch did a great job of calling the timeout. Every time the Rockets hit a shot, and we were up by 12, 14, and the Rockets hit a momentum shot, he called timeout. He stopped the momentum. And then the third and fourth quarter.
Doc, I don't know if we were watching the same game.
I'm not sure either, especially in the fourth quarter.
I don't know. Did you say they stopped the momentum? I don't know how many beers he had last night at the game, but they had a 16-point lead, and it was gone. They didn't stop the momentum. I know what you're saying, and I agree with everything you said about Mitch and all that.
Fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, I mean, Keldon only took three pointers. He missed them all in that third quarter. But I don't know if you're Mitch's neighbor or what, but and I like Mitch Johnson, but I'm mad at him right now because I think last night's loss is on him.
In the first quarter, when they had the lead, every time Houston hit a momentum bucket, he called timeout. That third and fourth quarter, the Spurs, they got to take over at some point, and Castle was trying to get to the rim and trying to score. He just could not finish. They had his number last night. He just could not finish and get those buckets at the rim like he usually does. I know we want to put it on Mitch.
You
but
say at the rim in the fourth quarter, Doc, he only took two-point attempts. He was 0 of 5, 0 of 3 from 3. I mean, you're making it sound like he couldn't, he took 10 shots and just couldn't buy one at the rim. That's not true.
What was his shots throughout the whole game? How many did he take throughout the whole game?
19.
In the paint.
Well, no, they weren't
19.
all in the paint.
How
No. Hold on a second.
He took 8 3-pointers for the game.
So he took 11 shots that weren't threes. He only made 5 of those 11.
Right.
All right, and two
of those he missed.
2 of those from the 3-point stripe. Look, I understand what you're saying, but look, you say that's the new NBA. It's only the new Spurs. No other head coach is not in the huddle during a timeout. There's not another one that does it. Watch Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors. He's in the huddle. So this is just Mitch Johnson. It's not the new NBA. There's nothing new about what Mitch Johnson is doing. Well, there's new what he's doing because nobody else is doing it. And again, I like Mitch Johnson too, but I'm just saying there are certain things he has to learn. There is no other head coach that is not involved in a timeout. And if Mitch Johnson's doing that, I've noticed that. Have you?
Sometimes, and I see some coaches. It depends on what they're trying to do. But in that moment, fourth quarter leads getting blown again. It's not like last night was a one-off. This is becoming way too much of a trend. That is where the head coach has to take over and call the right plays. And if he's got an offensive coordinator or whatever you want to call it in there doing that, it just doesn't appear that that's happening. At some point, stop the bleeding and quit jacking up threes and run a high percentage offensive play. Back to the phones. Chewy, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
One of the things I've noticed with these young Spurs compared to previous, like with Tony and Manu, they don't have a set play that they can go get an easy bucket when they're in these lows. Like,
Well, that's a problem,
I still
isn't
have
it?
memories. It is. Like, I remember one play that's vivid is Parker will take up from a May basket. Parker will run at the ball, give it to Mongo half court. There'd be a back pick for Parker, and he would have an easy layup every single time when they ran that play.
Yeah,
You're exactly right.
And we all remember 4 down. And now they don't have an offense that can do that, but they have to have something where you go, all right, we're in a drought. How do we end this drought? Let's run something that's high percentage.
50 3-point shots. 50. And to me, that just is the odds of you making half of those are insurmountable. You may on some days.
Yeah.
And props too, but the odds of you doing it consistently are not there. And it's just I don't care what the new NBA is, and it drives me insane. I mean, it really does. There should be some toughness, and there is. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they play physical basketball. Houston Rockets, they've got a goon in Şengün. I mean, and he's a tough guy. A lot of people calling him dirty after last night's game. Most teams have a guy, and if Luke Cornett's doing that, he needs to get better at it. That's for sure.
Last night's frustrating.
Yes.
Last night, especially because it's the freaking Rockets.
When you have a 16-point lead and blow it, and you're right, it is a trend, and it's a disturbing trend. And if they think it's physical now, wait until the playoffs start, because that's when it gets a lot more physical.
Yep. When they got Utah tomorrow?
Utah tomorrow, a team that is giving the Spurs trouble. Now, I don't think the Spurs are going to be a 16.5-point favorite. So it just, But they will be a big favorite against Utah because Utah's still banged up. I don't know if Markkanen will be back or not. He didn't play against the Spurs just here recently when they played here inside the Frost Bank Center, so I'm not sure if he's back or not. But it will be interesting to see. But we'll certainly.
Oh yeah, we'll keep up with it.
We'll keep up with it.
We'll talk a lot about it tomorrow.
Of course we will. James Pledger, do you have a show this afternoon, young man? Yes, he does. Extra Innings with Pledge is coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure and join AJ and Rob tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for the Morning Huddle. And Minix and I will be back at 2. Have a great night, everybody.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
What is a buy bid? It is a bid to buy. For 25 years, I've been giving dealers buy bids on the phone for your trade-ins. You go to trade it in, they call me, they get a buy bid. Now I'm giving you a direct buy bid at GiveMeTheVin.com. We're going in front of the dealer, getting the buy bid straight from me, the man, John Clay Wolf at GiveMeTheVin.com. If I don't beat your CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
Hello, this is Jason Thompson, and as you know, I've been practicing law here in San Antonio for more than 30 years, helping people and families injured in traffic collisions. So I'm often asked, what is the worst thing you can do after a traffic collision? And the answer is easy. That's trying to handle it on your own without an attorney. Insurance companies have spent billions perfecting their strategy of paying nothing or as little as they can get away with. It wouldn't be David versus Goliath. It would be David versus a million Goliaths. You have no chance. Using AI for help is even worse because AI routinely gives dangerously inaccurate legal advice. It is laughably bad on the law. So bad that a lawyer filing a document drafted by AI will likely be disbarred in Texas. Keep it simple. Just call me. My name is Jason Thompson. I'll give you a free review of your case with no obligation to hire me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or my website, alawyerforus.com. That's alawyerforus.com.
If your dog goes wild at the doorbell, it's time for a new game plan. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is coaching up new pups and current MVPs with professional training sessions. Call them today at 210-750-1298. That's 210-750-1298. Call them today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. If you're watching football this weekend, you know how it goes. Somebody's always hungry by the first quarter. So call Pizza Hut and get the Big New Yorker for just $10. Our biggest pizza for the biggest games. These slices are huge, like use 2 hands and fold it huge. Feed your crew and order ahead at pizzahut.com or in the app. Pizza Hut!
Ask for limited time offer. Prices, participation, and availability may vary. Additional charge for extra toppings, max 3, and extra cheese. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee not included.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water. Sounds